Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Tonight's game is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I know it's been a while since we've seen Herlock Sholmes, but keep the faith, everybody. He'll be back eventually. I'm sure of it. Thank you for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? I see that Extemporaneous was here early with a lurk and a random Transformers check. Optronics! I wish Vera was here. I miss Vera. This would be important trivia, because, okay, so Optimus Prime. Everybody knows Optimus Prime. Before he became a Prime, his name was Orion Pax, except in a short-lived universe by a comic book company that's now defunct called Dreamwave, where they tried to make his name cooler, so his name was Optronics. Said, who is bro? And you really should know who bro is. Also, would you rather write a cookbook or a novel? Oh, a novel! Oh, absolutely. Not even like a hesitation there. Although I do feel like I've heard that you can't copyright recipes, and that's why when you look up online, like for a recipe, people always have these like big long stories, like when I was just a small child growing up in Sicily, in Italy, my grandmother used to make the most wonderful smelling dishes, wafting in odors and aromas from the kitchen. They do it because apparently you can copyright a story, but not a recipe. So they put the recipe in a story, I think, something like that. But thank you for lurking, Extemporaneous. Nora Raid! Raided with a party of 4. Nora! How was your stream? I don't know if we have any of our mods here yet, so I will do a quick shout out for you, Nora. What were you playing tonight? Oh, hi, hang on. Oh, there's Rukab.
Ladies and gentlemen, come one, come all. Come for the chills. Come for the thrills. Come for the laughter and tears. Logan is here for your entertainment. Oh, and he is waging a silent war against vanilla, dark mode, and all things child safety.
Well, now Queen Katie's raid. Okay, Rukab, thank you for the 10 bits. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nora, for that raid. I'll go ahead and do a second shout out here then for Queen Katie. We've got back-to-back raids coming in here. Okay, so we'll watch a quick clip from Queen Katie, and then we'll get into things.
The young man turns around and silently raises his arm and comes this way.
Hey guys.
The very sensibly dressed young man.
Mania! I love you, sweet, sweet loser.
Quite the reaction. Is he your version of Penny Nichols? But thank you, Nora and Queen Katie, for the raids. How were your streams? I know, Queen Katie, you were playing Reverse 1999. I don't know if you saw if you were on Mod View or not while I was eating earlier. I was in there lurking. I feel like anytime I pop in, that game looks like something different. You were like sliding around on ice. And Nora, what were you playing? You were playing, Danganronpa! Are you finally finishing that game? When are you going to finish it? Okay, I gotta read some chat and say hi to everybody, but in case there's anybody new in with either raid, hi, my name is Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Not this Sunday, though, because that's gonna be Mother's Day. Right now, this is our main game. We're playing The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're currently toward the end of the 3rd case in it. We've been alternating with other short games. We just finished Batman Telltale. Tomorrow, we're gonna try out, the plan is we're gonna try out Pragmata. and see what that is like. Do a futuristic robot dad simulator. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And also, let me post our social medias into the chat. There's a link tree that has all of it. Feel free to check it out or ignore it as you see fit. But hi, welcome everybody. Okay, I need to read some more chat. Since all the raids was on Twitch, I'll check over YouTube. YouTube, we simply have Dermo saying hi. Hi, Dermo! How you doing? Back over on Twitch, Oak says, hey, Longa! Streaming with Nora right now, will raid shortly, and then a Nora raid, we will stab you. Nora says, Nora's raiding in over tears, don't mess up your stream. Sukuna ASMR says, holy raid, let's go! Rukop, thank you again for the 10 bits earlier. And there's Queen Katie's raid. Queen said, watch out, the Queen raids and her bats are flying into your kingdom. Shiny says the same thing. Nora says, oh goodness, 2 raids back to back. Queen says, Horrorpedia! Yes, he is my penny. Oak said, we're trying to finish it. How many chapters, like, where are you in Danganronpa without saying, like, spoiler stuff for anybody who might be lurking who hasn't played the game? Are you gonna finish it soon? You gotta get to Danganronpa 2. You gotta do, because we're gonna be playing 2x2 later this year. And there'll probably be spoilers aplenty. I'm looking forward to that. That's my favorite of the Danganronpa games. Okay, so I should probably load up the game. Oh, and over on YouTube, Derma says, can't stay long. I have a communion to attend today, so I need to sleep, but I can't miss this case. Well, I hope everything goes well with that. I mentioned before, I assume communion, that's like a Catholic thing, right? My dad's side of the family is all Catholic. I have very limited interaction with Catholicism, except when a relative one time got married, it was a traditional Catholic wedding, and so I went to that. It's very interesting. But I hope that it goes well. I'm happy to have you as long as you're able to be here, Dermo. Thank you for that. I mean, I can't ask more of you than what you're able to, and hope you're able to get some good sleep and rest tonight. Okay, so where we left off last time, we are, again, presumably toward the end of the adventure of the runaway room. The problem is, like, it's not really clear who the killer is. We just met Gina Lestrade, who was a stowaway, just like we were a stowaway on a boat. She was a stowaway in an omnibus, hiding underneath the seat of our client. I should probably pull up our court record and show you these people that we're talking about. Okay, so yeah, so recap. This guy was murdered, thrice-fired Mason. Our client is this guy, Magnus McGilded, I keep on saying McGilded, an Irishman who's very wealthy and was in the carriage with him. We just found out that also Gina Lestrade was hidden in there too. It was like a locked room type of a thing, and the big thing that we just found out was that at no point did she hear the door open in order for thrice-fired Mason to enter into the omnibus. So it was just him and Gina Lestrade hiding, and then at some point later, this guy was dead. There was a loud thunk, and so I think happened, there's a skylight. I think he was dropped in by the skylight. Up on the top were Bruce Fairplay and Lady First, so I think one of these two must have killed him. With Bruce Fairplay, he has a motive, but it's almost too obvious because he owed a lot of money to thrice-fired Mason. Lady First, though, he's a hatter, and we've had several references to this dude's hat. So there might be a connection there. And this is just, he's the carriage driver. He's Beppo. He's a funny guy. So yes, this is where Van Zeeks, I believe we're at this point now where he slammed his leg up on the table, which destroyed my, oh, hang on, I just dropped something. I don't see where it went. But it destroyed my chapstick from last time. It got all crunched up and wrecked. I was able to extract the content so I can salvage that. But anyway, sorry, is this recap helping, or am I too scatterbrained all over the place? I hope it makes sense. So yeah, Van Zeeks slammed his leg up on the table, and I guess he's saying that because of the inconsistency with her testimony with our presumed facts that she is lying. But I think, of course, she's telling the truth. That's a much more interesting thing. So makes sense? I'm gonna read one or two quick comments here before we get into this. Now, Nora said, we're trying. Queen said, I was doing a chill stream with the new game mode in reverse 1999. I'll play his little figure going around mazes. Oak said, the guide said we're halfway through the investigation of which chapter? Oh, I accidentally clicked the game. He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. Oh, she's ready. She's ready to go guilty. The back of her chair is already black. Okay, so yeah, this has already happened. Were those the jurors, or was that the gallery saying that? Hark, she didn't even say anything. Oh, I just want to kill a young girl. I'm jealous of her youth. Then can I drink her blood? It sustains me. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. You can't abide liars like me. I'm a defense lawyer. Liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman. I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. I was just thinking about the word salubrious earlier today. But I must say, I cannot abide lawyers! I'm a lawyer. Why does everyone hate lawyers today? Arg!
Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty.
Will they give us another, what was our last chance thing? A summation examination? I doubt they'll give us a second one. Oh, and here he is. Here's the man. Well, your consideration for the others is refreshing, my Japanese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Burp. Yes, very refreshing. Oh! Ah, what are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you working for, you useless Eastern? I don't know what that word is. Is that another slur? They have a lot of old-timey slurs in this game. Oh, and he's doing this thing again. This is carnage. It's perfect. Juror number 2 is the only one left. Is it because, like, is she a pickpocket as well? Does she sympathize? Okay, things are getting intense already. I'm gonna read a couple of comments in the chat and have a sip of water, and then we'll continue with this. Let's see. Quick said we are definitely for sure finishing case 3 tonight. I don't know. What if I just take a really long time and do stupid things? Oak said we still have the class trial. For which chapter? Said, oh, it's the last case, so we should hopefully finish soon. Oh, okay. Okay, so did I ask, did you guys get the bad ending in the previous case? Quick said I also have spoiler clips tonight as well for both the ending of this case and the start of chapter 4. Really? Wow. Nora said, Pragmata! I don't know if I'll be able to be there tomorrow. I have Among Us stream tomorrow. You're just excited because of, Pecora, right? Oh, Quick with a 95 stream streak! Eggland said, yippee, I'm graduating tomorrow. Congratulations, Eggland! Are you, is this with your associates? Like, do you walk for that? Do you have like your cap and gown and all those? Oak said we are on the final chapter. I'm assuming like 1/4 or 1/3 through the last chapter. Quiggin said also I freaking hate ice Veros. Why do you hate ice Veros? Lots of that in my stream today. Oak says also last night I did a music stream with Nora where I taught her how to use FL Studio. Oh, I didn't know this. Said she made her first song and both me and Dermo remixed. Oh, that's so cool. Said Dermo just sent the remix on Discord. Oh, that's awesome. Speaking of Dermo, let me take a look at YouTube chat. Frozy says, I missed the notification. I thought Logan was just late. I was late, but I wasn't just late. Did the notification go out then? Okay, but how you doing, Frozy? Good to see you. Okay, let's play a little bit more here.
Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going.
I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much want to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Hold it! Okay, finally! We should have been saying this a lot sooner. I'm gonna do my job for once. So pay attention, everybody. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is, in fact, the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. Finally, someone says that. I forgot to have a sip of water, and I'm thirsty. I need a sip of water. By the way, did I ask how y'all are? I think I was so eager to get into the game. I've been looking forward to this tonight. I hope you guys are having a great week. It may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel! Crap, I think I'm going Scottish with him. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. This is so many old-timey words. I need to look that up. Prorogue. Definition: to discontinue a session of a parliament or other legislative assembly without dissolving it. Oh, okay. Explain yourself at once. Huh. Crab's gonna ask me. I should save in case I don't know what I'm gonna suggest, because I don't remember quite exactly where we were last time. Let's go keep staggering our saves up to the very top as we save our pockers and scum our saves like a shameless save scummer that I am. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how to explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? Ceiling, sunlight, roof light, roof door, top door, high up, fall down, gravity exists.
49. Boo.
Oh, it's so scary. Tiff, for the second time, this is the second time it's happened. I was doom scrolling TikTok the other day after I was checking an upload, and I just hate how, like, every now and then I go to tap something, move it up, and it takes it as a tap, and right at the bottom it was like, share with Tiff, and I actually like shared some random video. I was swiping by again. I think you said you no longer check TikTok, so it probably doesn't matter. But if you do, and if you see stuff, I think I deleted the message. I don't know if it's sent or not. But I do 49 months! Thank you so much, Tiff. I hope you are doing well. I hope your day is going well. Okay, he was in there already. There's another entrance. He was put there after he died. There was another entrance. Again, the skylight. I did just save, so I think we can just go straight into this. Let's try it. There's another entrance. Because we need to have consistency with, like, the sound of him falling. Ha! If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered if the new fantasy you would come up with. Wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Okay, we're gonna click inside, so we'll just look up and click it. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be! There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. All right, counsel. Okay, it's been dramatic. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Why do we gotta do? Can we just be inside and point up to it? Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim enter the cabin? Is this? Is that? Is present? Take that! Take that! Huh! The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight! Dramatic music again. I'm gonna read some more in the chat. I feel very good about this. I mean, I figured this out last time. So we're just letting the game catch up to where we all are, yeah? Let's see, over on Twitch chat, Eglin says, love that I got my finals done the day before all of everything collapsed. Oh yeah, I briefly saw somebody said that something was down, Canvas is down or hacked or something like that. What exactly happened? I don't know. Oh, Storm of Stars, rated with a party of 4. Thank you so much. I don't know if we have any of our mods currently here, so I'm gonna do a quick shout out for you myself. Storm, how was your stream? What were you streaming tonight? You were playing Fable. I've never played Fable. I've heard it's really good. Okay, let's watch a clip here. Oh boy, what? Wait, is that actually your hand? Do you have like a camera over your shoulder for like a POV shot? Or what was that? That was cool. But welcome, Raiders. My name is Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. This is the main game we're playing right now, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're toward the end-ish of the third case in the game. I mean, I guess it's spoilers if you want to go completely blind. It's not like end game spoilers, but feel free to stick around. Other games we've played in the past include Danganronpa, other Ace Attorney games, Persona, Omori, Deltarune. We've even done some Telltale games recently, like The Walking Dead, all sorts of stuff. So hi, welcome. I have posted this already once, but let me put it in the chat again. And I probably ought to paste it over onto YouTube. There is our link tree that has all of our social media, including a Discord invite, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff. Feel free to check it out or ignore it. It's up to you. But yeah, Storm, how was your stream? How was Fable? I should read some more in the chat. Raiders, I read every comment in chat. We're 22 minutes in the stream. I'm probably 15 minutes behind in chat already. But if you type something in, I will read it. In fact, let me scroll down to where the raid happened so I can see stuff there. Oh, there we go. Nora says, Stormy! Storm says, Storm of Stars has hit! And then Sean Dawn. Oh, I like it because it rhymes, but they're spelled completely different. Sean Dawn says, a Storm of Stars has hit. Melancholy. Oh, you guys have puns. I like this. Melancholy. It's like melon like the fruit and the collie like the dog. Melancholy owl. Both you guys got good usernames. I like that. With some emotes, Nora says, hi, Stormy. Storm says, doing the Fable DLC right now. Once we finish it, I'm going to see if I can do Fable 2 as well. How many Fable games are there? I remember I got one of them ages ago on Steam when it was like really, really cheap on sale, but I've never played it. Because it's one of those games that like changes how you play. Like you can be the good guy, you can be the bad guy, you can be anything. Yeah? But again, welcome. I'm going to scroll back to where I was in the chat and read a few more comments, and we'll get back into the game here. Let's see. Oak says, Queen Katie, wow, so mean to Vero, and then a Miss Vero command. Magpie says, oh, also, hey, whoa, Magpie has been in. I clicked so early, I forgot to announce my burb arrival. Well, I appreciate your arrival, early or otherwise. How you doing, Magpie? Queen says, hey, Vero is a knight, not made of ice. Difference. Eglin said, also getting back into love and deep space. Very nice. Well, you got to. Otherwise, you won't know about, like, your monthly health and things. Oak says, meow. Quiggin said, by the way, Logan, I finally made a Pragmata spoiler chat channel. The role name for now is going to be Robo Dad. I don't know a thing about the Pragmata, but I assume it's a good role name. I mean, all I know is you're a guy named Hugh, and you, like, adopt a robot girl named Diana. And she, like, rides piggyback, and I think shoots things. Oak says, Logan, you're a bizarre fellow, huh? I am? Vero!
Hi friends, dragging myself here to be awake. Been really sick and all I've done lately was nap through my days and I'm so excited for this nonetheless.
Vero, thank you for the 10 bits. We have missed you. I posted like a whole bunch of stuff over in the Transformers channel in Discord the other day and I'm like, Vero isn't here. I want to talk about Transformers with Vero so badly. Vero! I literally just read Oak doing a Miss Vero command. But thank you for the 10 bits. Okay, I should get back into the game. Raiders, if you're still here, I do eventually play games. I promise, but I just like chatting with people. But also, Raiders, if you're like, this isn't what we came to watch, we wanted to watch Fable, and you want to take off, that's totally fine. But I love making new friends. So thank you again, Vero, for the 10 bits. Oh, yay. Let's back into the game. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight? Yeah, it's obvious. Why are we on the jury? We can tell these things. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However... Objection! The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
He's gonna say it can't be open, but instead it can't be open from the inside. It can be open from the top. So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your adult brain theory? Well, which? That you can fit through? Or that he fell through? We would say we heard a sound of him hitting the ground. Honestly, I just to remind you, I don't need to prove it. I just need to reasonably doubt what you're trying to prove. Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained. Yes, the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact? Hey, Bamanon is here! Bamanon, gifting a sub to Eggland! Thank you, Bamanon. I hope you're proud. I don't know if you've seen the Batman VODs, but I hope you're proud of the Batman that we became in Batman Telltale's first season. Thank you, Eggland. Eggland, you got access to our emotes again. You can get back into the Hey Hey channel. You're immune to ads again. Thank you very much, Bamanon. Thank you. Okay, I gotta keep playing. Just a little longer. I'll be back in the chat soon. I really appreciate that, Bamanon. Thank you. Okay, a loud enough noise to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious. Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. Okay, so as I was saying before, it's got to be someone who is up top. It's either Bruce Fairplay or Lady First. As I mentioned before, Bruce Fairplay has an obvious motive. He owed a lot of money to Thrice-Fired Mason. And if he died... Oh, no, crap, he didn't owe money to Thrice-Fired Mason, that's right. No, he owed money to Magnus McGilded. And so that gives him a motive to frame McGilded, but it doesn't give him a motive for murder. Sorry, I got that mixed up. Yeah, so it could be him. I was going to say that'd be too obvious. But Lady First is a hatter, and there's been a whole thing about how that we in the photo we couldn't see his face because of his hat. It could be both of them. Maybe it was a conspiracy. Maybe all three of them got together and just like, we really want to kill this guy. I mean, that's possible. Have we ever had a conspiracy ending for one of our trials? Just everybody did it? That was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
Oh yeah, I like seeing Ryunosuke get, like, confident. I feel like anytime Phoenix Wright is confident, it just doesn't feel earned. But Ryunosuke, he's trying. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure he's gonna say then people up top would have seen it? Unless one of them did the murder. One or all of them. Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. They also didn't make mention of them doing the murder. They don't bring up everything.
I don't know who Bepo is, but I would do anything for him for his name alone. I hope he's not a horrible person.
Okay. There is one crime that Beppo is guilty of that we know of, and that's overcharging patrons. Because at the end of the day, he was the driver. He's basically a bus driver. And at the end of the day, he has to keep going, and he doesn't get paid, so he charged 1 pence more to the passengers than he was supposed to. But he's a good little guy. He's just a silly little guy that is always cold. Like, we're all fine. And he's like shivering and rubbing his hands, and just like you can see his breasts. But he's delightful. And so yes, that is the proper reaction. He's like an old dog. He's like a really old hound dog that's like, oh, I just want to bring you inside and warm you up. But thank you very much for the 10-bit stiff. I should read some more in the chat. Oak says, did you get a haircut? I did. I got a haircut today. I always feel like it takes a couple of days for a haircut to like, for me to adapt to it, to like grow into it. But yeah, so it's very short because like it was this morning.
I'll let that slide. A man has got to eat.
There we go. So I'm going to hope then that he was not the murderer nor part of a conspiracy, that he should just be a hapless bystander. Because Tiff has spoken that Beppo needs to be protected. So thank you very much, Tiff, for the 10 bits and for your excellent judgment. By the way, over on YouTube, Frulzy says potential Fable stream. I mean, maybe. I'd like to play it someday. I think I once upon a time mentioned it as a list of possible games, but I don't think anybody like really jumped on. Are you a Fable fan, Frulzy? Fable fan Frulzy? Oak says your hair looks a bit more miniature today. It is. It's too small. It'll grow back, though. Nora said we are on chapter 6 in Dangan. Nice! And Oak said that you're almost to the trial, right? Quita says, I'm hungry. My stomach was growling so bad I suffered on the last ice Vero. Yeah, there we go. I go get food. Eglin said, yep. Walking for my associates, got my cap and gown, painted my cap. It's cool, too. Oak said, I also sent my remix on Discord, but Derma's cooler. It has microtonality and awesome reverse sampling. Derma, are you still here on YouTube to explain what microtonality and reverse sampling is? I assume reverse sampling is where you sample something, but if you play it in reverse? That would make sense to me. Queen says, I was so hungry I lost my thinking cells, so I just yoinked 3 giant pepperonis to eat. I was feeling a little bit like that. I ate earlier, but I'm still a bit hungry, so I made sure to stock up some candies, some Reese's here on my desk. And Queen Katie says, Logan, at this point, you might as well buy a dictionary to keep at your side. Okay, true. I feel like Googling it is probably a little bit faster than like a hardbound dictionary, but maybe that'd be a neater visual, like flipping through the pages. I could do a thing where like I lick a finger to turn the page or something like that.
Funny enough, I haven't touched my Tomodachi life for a while, so when I did, something happened. Your me barely tried to socialize, he was only talking to me and was never curious about anyone. And then, you had the hiccups. In the back of my mind I thought that if I brought my mom
you might fall in love with her, so I was like, everyone want to be friend. Logan is busy doing something. Part 2 of this
I brought
incoming.
D16 to help.
Hey.
I shot down the idea that you might fall in love with the first person to ever help you with something. But nope. You immediately fell in love with D16,
Not
who is a
Megatron!
girl on my island, so... Whoops. I pray you win her over because multiple people before
you tried and failed. One of my friends, and Ultra Magnus. Did you know there is like a female quote-unquote version of Megatron in canon? Her name is Mega Empress. And I mean, she's technically not Megatron, but she looks like a lady Megatron. Very rare Japanese toy. Part of a set, a combiner set. She's the torso bot. I wish I had this set because it's really cool, but it's like super expensive on the secondary market now. I hope they reissue it someday. Thank you for the 2 sets of 10 bits. Also, I responded to your thing about making Shattered Glass Thundercracker. Thank you. You should see what I made. My Tomodachi Life Island, I still only have 10 villagers. It takes me too long. Like when I make an islander, like for the last one I made, it was like I spent way too much. I stayed up way too late that night doing it. It was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, I'll make a villager. And then it took 3 hours. Because I'm slow. But everyone's getting along. I've been taking like lots of little pictures and videos. I haven't posted any of them on Discord because I don't know if people want to see my villagers on my island. But they are all delightful. But thank you for the 2 sets of 10 bits, Vero. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's play some more of the game. I'm gonna have a sip of water and we'll get back into this. Huh?
I thought it was gonna read it all. Dang it. My suspense is gone.
It's okay. It's okay. I could tell that it was like going to cut it off because of how long it was. That's why I tried to read that one part really quickly there. But thank you for the 10 bits. I'm glad that your me of me did not fall in love with your mom. I wouldn't want to steal her away from you. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. Okay, let's get back into this. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Is he going to chime in and finally say that one of them might have been... I still think it's also possible he might be a murderer. And that's going to be our test, is that we'll have a client who is a murderer, and we'll see if that we will get a not guilty no matter what, or if we'll stick to the truth. Might a humble fella make a wee comment here. Mr. McGilded? To be sure now, the 2 fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying it, but of them hiding it, yeah. Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? Are they being threatened? Is it Beppo? Is Beppo the killer? What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason to not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? I like that he's winning them over with charisma, I think. Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof.
You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were...
Oh, that's what he's saying, that they were the killers. Wait, what did she say at the end? I didn't hear what the old lady said. Okay, so he is implying that they're the killers. I thought he was implying that they were like being bribed or something. Maybe this guy's mustache is a hint. It's like a W. Wait a second, his mustache is a W. We have been assuming this whole time that M is for McGilded. I don't think that McGilded has... I don't think he's denied that, but he hasn't confirmed it either. Because that's an M. Hang on, what if it's a W? And it might not even be an initial. It might just be a W for his mustache. Which upside down is a wustache. Oh, pin message Chip saying Wario. He could be. He needs to be heavier set. He's more like a Waluigi. But yeah, he's not Bruce Fairplay. He's Woos Wearplay. I wonder if the shape of his mustache is a hint that it's like a W. But where would you get a W in Bruce Fairplay? Unless it's like a fake name. I like where this is going. Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? Is it blitherer or blitherer? Blitherer. I'm gonna read. Oh, we got some YouTube comments. Let me take a look over on YouTube. Derma says, reverse sampling is exactly that, playing something in reverse. Okay, so I was able to guess that with context clues. Am I saying this right? Mersh 8246 says, hi. Big thumbs up to you, man. Oh, really? Thank you for the big thumbs up. Mersh, hi. You're new, I assume. Are you still here? Hi, let me give you the quick rundown on everything. My name is Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Not this Sunday, though. It's canceled for Mother's Day. Don't want to compete against time with anybody's moms. But hi, are you a fan of Great Ace Attorney? Or the big thumbs up to me makes it sound like, have you seen some of my shorts or something? But welcome, Mersh. How are you? I read every comment and chat. I'm always behind, so I'm catching up on YouTube now. Dermo says, microtonality in Western music, we divide the octave into 12 notes. Other cultures divide it in other ways. In Turkish, Egyptian, and other traditions, they divide it into 24 parts, roughly. Frozy says, is McGilded JoJo posing right now? I feel like a JoJo pose needs to be more body language in it, but there's a little bit, because JoJo poses can have the hand in front of the face type of a thing. Derma says, by using the note between the standard notes, you can get something really unique sounds. Frozy 100%. Frozy said, W for McGilded's evil twin brother. Derma says, heaven help anyone who has a name beginning in J and has to try and grow their mustache into that shape and make it look okay according to Logan. No, start here. And you go, like that. I guess that one was looking more like a G. But yeah. Or I guess you can just start here and just go like J. I think the world maybe needs more asymmetrical facial hair. Have we talked about a J-shaped mustache before? That sounds so familiar. Frozy says, I have a life goal now. Evil, 3. I just noticed the W-shaped mustache. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and they made a big deal of the M on, they could have just said this is a very expensive knife, so clearly the rich guy owns it. But they made a big deal about the problem was at the time, I think Ryunosuke said, what if it's a W? And Susato shot it down, which made me think, oh, okay, I'd guess that too. I guess I'm dumb. They're hanging a lampshade on it. They're bringing it up just to reject it. But his face, it's a W. And they always have very deliberate character design choices. So let's see if I'm right. What? You rotter, he said. You rotter. What are you insinuating? his face. He looks like a freaking Popeye character. So this is him pretending to ride a horse. Please, Lady First, don't be the murderer. I love you now. You are now my favorite character. Don't tell Herlock Sholmes. I'm delighted with this. What are you insinuating? This is a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. I'm gonna guess that's slang for black eye. In a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Shiner, I know, is slang for a black eye. Mr. Fair Play! That is a threat of violence. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very, very angry hatter. Yeah, they totally worked together, didn't they? Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's gutsy. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. I protest in the strongest possible terms. He protests a bit too much. Oh, McKilden's still up there right next to him. That's right, I protest too. About you, you rotten scoundrel. These guys are delightful. Order! 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 This is not the time, witness. Later, you could do violence. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the ante-room at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witness. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Japanese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. So what if I want some English tongue? You proposed to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars or murderers. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. It might have base. I'm gonna save again. It's been a little while since we've done that. I don't read a few more comments in the chat. I feel like it's gonna ask us to just predict something or guess something soon. Let's see. Reading some more in the chat. That's where Tiff re-upped this up. Thank you again so much, Tiff. Quickita says, oh my gosh, those were the best pepperonis of all time. I'm getting more. I don't care how bad it is. Chat, should I make bacon, says Oak. Make bacon or you can steal some of Queen Kitty's pepperonis. There was Storm of Stars raid from earlier. So I can scroll down a bit because we already read some of these. Oak says, in Tomodachi Life, my brothers, me's, and his wife broke up. No, that's gotta be a big downside of putting like real people in, is that it can ruin their marriages and things. See, I told them not to break up, and they did anyways. Can they get back together? Can they remarry again, maybe? My brother's wife has been on a warpath in Tomodachi Life. She's beefing with my mom, my brother, young Sheldon, everybody, including Beef. Is she beefing with Beef? Eglin says, a group of hackers decided it'd be funny to hack into Canvas, which is the platform that basically every school uses for homework. There was a deal going out to all schools today to essentially prevent a huge amount of data from being released. This is also happening during final/graduation for several areas, so a lot of people may have issues with getting their final credits for their degrees at their college level. This most likely affects the entire school system, K through 12 plus though. Glad I'm not in school right now. Storm says it was really fun. I had a good time. There were 3 games. The first 2 were apparently the good ones. Also, hi, Nora. Veros, excuse me. Oak says Vero. Quickita says Vero. Oak says I'll save you. Vera says I gotta look it over. Oak says shielding you from all the germs in your body. Nora said this is not my doing. And Vera says to Nora, frown. And Nora says, so glad my school doesn't use it. Okay, am I still caught up over on YouTube? Let me see over there. Frulzy says, might not even be the letter on the knife, just a drawing of his mustache. You can have that. You can have like a logo. It doesn't need to be a monogram of your initial. It could be your logo. Derma says, Logan, we're currently discussing in spoiler chat, what is the worst capital letter to have as facial hair? Let's see, not A, because that could be kind of cool like that. B would be weird. C, not D. E, F, G, H, no. I, no, J, K, L, M. Oh. Honestly, so far I'm thinking the letter B, a capital B. This is O, P, Q, R, S, T. Yeah, capital B, a capital B. That is my decision. A capital B is the worst letter to have as facial hair. You can have a lowercase b, but not a capital B. So thank you very much. I hope that resolves your problem. Oh, hang on, we got a poll has appeared. And on Twitch, it says, spoiler chat, what's the worst letter to have as facial hair? The options are K, G, S, Z, and B from logo. I'm voting B. Because I know a thing or two about letter facial hair. But yes, we'll decide democratically. Let me have a sip of water, hang on. Okay, so cast your votes over on Twitch. And let's play a little more. Dermo, I don't think you said you don't have a Twitch account, right? So you should be able to say what your vote is, and we should include that in at the end. Huh. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. Yeah, why don't we ever turn around and say, where's your evidence it didn't happen? What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify. And that's a good point.
I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
Hey, testify! Testify!
Is this the first time we've had the gallery fully voiced rather than just gasps and hubbub?
Well, what's happening, Mr. Naruhodo?
It's mob justice! Well, not really. The mob's demanding the normal protocol. They're just really excited for it. The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. I'd rather have them shouting testify as opposed to kill them all. Didn't one of the Payne brothers try to get everybody to chant that? Or maybe that was just me giving him things to say. Mr. Fair Play and Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Hey, yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. How big is the stand? Is the stand growing? There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. All right. Less than an hour into stream, we've reached a new testimony.
Refuting the accusation.
Hi, ba-ba-ba.
The crowd's going crazy. Do you mean the mob is Psycho?
100? Mob Psycho 100 is a really good anime. You guys should watch it if you haven't already. Thank you very much, Tiff, for the 10 bits. I think that would be delightful if they were all Mob Psycho 100. Oh, the poll is done, and the letter G has won with 60% of the vote. B in second place with 30%, and K in third with 10%. Let me take a look over at YouTube to see what votes we got there. Frulzy says, I think it's a lowercase I. Not only is it a straight line, there's a random off-centered hole in it. Well, the hole could be like where your mouth is, but then you have like a little Hitler mustache up there. Dermo with message retract said, K, the diagonal lines just don't fit anywhere on the face. Okay, so that would have taken that up to around 20%-ish. So still would have been third place. The winner apparently is G. I disagree. You could do a great swirly thing with G. Oh wait, no, it's like swerve, like that. That'd be so cool. That'd be so rad. And Frozy says, I feel like most awkward letters are at least interesting or cool as a gimmicky mustache, like on those crazy handlebar stashes, super dar. Okay, here's a question. Can you rotate them around? Like if you did a K, can you do a K sideways so it's like a straight line out like that and then down like that? Because that's like a K, you just have to like turn your head sideways in order to be able to see it. Oh, Quick says, please pin this, the final testimony for the case. You can do it. But here's the question, is there gonna be more than 2 hours of cutscene afterward? All right, so let's do some of this cross-examination. Well, not the cross-examination, we gotta see the testimony first. So thank you very much. We were the only 2 people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything had happened while we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Darn it, Lady First probably has a motive because he's a hatter, and he has a hat! The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. Okay, here's the problem. Even if only one of them is the murderer, the other is clearly covering for the other. I feel like they're both the murderer. I don't want him to be a murderer. Look how delightful this is. Although, you know, maybe he could have, they could have a really cool moment. He opens the skylight and then Bruce Fairplay looks over at him and before pushing the guy, he's like, Lady First. And then Lady First pushes him in. That could have been cool. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine, unless they're the killers. How either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open roof deck, without the other noticing forthwith. Yeah, well, even if they did, like, the other wouldn't cover for, like, the body dropping in. So, at the very least, one's the second's an accomplice, if not another murderer. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. Oh, there! Have you ever? You should be a lawyer, lady. What? I didn't even need to say that. We just got jurors to say stuff. According to investigations by Scotland Yard, are they going to say that these two have never met each other before now? The two witnesses share no common dealings. Oh, well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really? So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. And again, it is possible that maybe McGilded is the killer. I mean, it's happened before in one of these games. Oh, yes, my lord. Okay, you guys know the deal. When it's time for cross-examination, we save beforehand, we press every statement, and then afterwards we'll decide where we're gonna present our evidence, refuting the accusation. So we gotta save. 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 Save my poggers, save my poggers. There we are. So before we press every statement, let me read a few more comments in the chat. Let's see. Vero says, it was suspiciously after our stream together. Nora says, brah. Vero says, I slept during Logan's stream because I was sleepy and woke up sick, basically. Are you feeling any better? Because that was like a few days ago. Hope you're feeling a little bit better, Vero. We missed you last time. Eglin says, pretty sure both my college options for next year use it, so I may be stuck with an associate's degree until they switch programs. Said because this could shut down Canvas for good, or at least for a few solid years. It is still unclear. I would think that, like, there ought to be, like, some way to still figure out, maybe. I hope you get it taken care of. And then Eglin says, thanks, Batman! Storm says, I must eep, though I hope your game goes well. Love you, Nora. Thank you for being here, Storm. Thank you for the raid. I hope you sleep well. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see. There's a couple of TTSs, so I gotta scroll down. Vera says, okay, I'm more awake from that moving to PC. Oak says, reverse samples is exactly what it sounds like. It's just playing a sample in reverse. Microtonality is when a note is in between standard notes. Queen said, there was a lot of ice Veros in my stream today, by the way. It was something. And Vera says, sorry, I was haunting you. Oak says, so like in Western music, there are 12 notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. Each note is one semitone apart. Microtonality is when you have a note that is like 0.5 semitones apart. And Tiff says, Wario? It's very possible. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Let's see. Dermo says, no! Rotation makes it way too easy. Oh, hang on. I got a phone call coming in. Sorry about that. That was, I just had to make sure it wasn't like a family emergency. That was a phone call from my mom. I can't remember if I told you guys on Tuesday, but my whole family, other than me, like my mom, my brother, his wife, their kids, they all went to Disneyland. And I mean, they asked if I wanted to come with, but man, I gotta stay home and take care of my cat, but B, the amount of money that would cost. If I had the money for a Disneyland trip, there are so many other things I'd rather spend that money on. So sorry about that. I just had to check and make sure that everything was okie dokie. So thank you very much for your patience there. Okay, so let's press every statement and then we will get back to the chat in just a little bit here. We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. Hold it! You can swear, prove it. Say F right now. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not. I know that's a name, but that seems like a swear. Is that what he's calling me? No question about it, he said, none at all. Oh, but yes, of course, I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. I love his facial expressions. There's some, I don't know. They just feel like old-timey cartoons. And we're getting so many new ones in this testimony because he's angry now. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord. Wait, crap, I lost his accent. Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and noted off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie! Without doubt you're engaged in! Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? Yeah, he's acting suspicious. I think he might be a murderer. 'Tis all about evidence in the carts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you with my own eyes! This is going so well! If anything happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? Hold it! Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark. Perhaps too dark to see clearly? Is this some kind of lock? I said dark. It's a different letter. Is this some kind of joke, you said? Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. Thank you for always translating, lady first. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Did we ever find out why he locked the door? Was he just like selfishly wanting to sit alone? Hang on, I want to check something here. I want to check something. Autopsy report. Let's see. Time of death between 10 and 11 p.m. Okay, stabbed once in the abdomen. So, whilst journeying in an omnibus. Do we know for sure that that's where he was stabbed? What if Mason is the killer, killed him, and dragged the, well, then Beppo, I guess, would have seen the body. Unless, he didn't bring any luggage on, did he? I'm just trying to think, because the way that Fair Play and Lady First are acting, they might be simply denying it. But I kind of like my theory that Mason is guilty. The Strong Heart wants us to, the requirement is we have to get a not guilty verdict in order to become a lawyer. But what if our client is guilty? Wouldn't us showing that we're going to just seek out the truth and allow him to be convicted? I mean, I do feel like in the Western tradition, that is still dereliction of duty of a defense attorney. But if your client is guilty and you don't get a not guilty verdict, you kind of can't blame someone for that, right? Huh. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. Oh, Krita says, Mason, do you mean Magnus? Sorry, Magnus. Mason is the dead guy. Magnus is this guy. Sorry, their two names start with Ma. Thank you, Queen Katie. Yes, so that Magnus killed Mason. The Magnus and Mason were, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm dreadfully sorry about that young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and didn't hear you at all. That's a lie. That's a lie. I heard you through the glass. You were talking to someone. No, 'twas a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising. See, he's being suspicious. He's the killer. He's the killer. And that's good. It means the Lady First isn't. Magnus is the murderer. Although I did like my theory that the M-shaped mustache meant something. Seeing things. I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point. You. Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Okay, I'm gonna read some more in the chat. I have a feeling this is probably where we're gonna find some evidence to support the idea they knew the victim. But let me read a couple comments in the chat. Oak says, it's a note in between normal notes. Tiff says, oh, that. Nora says, Lurk, messing around with music by myself. Thank you for Lurk, see when you get back. Fear says, I thought Mother's Day is in March. Who was it? Somebody else on Discord, I think, said that. So apparently it's other countries. In the United States, it's in May. I don't know why. My understanding is that Mother's Day is one of those holidays that was created by greeting card companies. I've always assumed it's in May because like that's when flowers are blooming, so that you buy flowers for your mom. Vera says, I have the issue Katie has with and, but with in and on. Ooh. Unfortunately, it's not as easy to say with in and on because a and an is like, well, is it a vowel sound right afterward? In and on, I guess it's like where your location and you like inside the thing or like on it, but I guess with geographic stuff that can get difficult. Queen says, in the US at least, it is May instead. And Oak says, no, in is correct. Wait, oh, because Vera corrected something? Oh, is in March. Yeah, it is in March. It is. In is correct. In is, it's not on March, it's in March. If it's a specific date in March, if it's like March 5th, they can say on March 5th. But if it's the whole month, it's in. It could be any of those days. All those days are inside of March. It could be any of them. Does that make sense? And Vera says, dang it! Wasn't it on with dates? Guys, please, it's okay to follow the rest of the world on stuff. Kai-V says, howdy, Mr. Roboto. How you doing, Kai-V? Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. I gotta scroll up just a tiny little bit here. Hang on. Frosty says, why is First auditioning as the newest Uma Musume character? Well, is that how the horse girls run? I assume they just run like normal people. Do they actually gallop? Maybe he's trying to ride an Uma Musume. Durma says, if only the victim was a woman, he could have gone lady first and tossed her. When you said you had a phone call, for a second I thought you were doing a bit related to the mustache. No. It's just one of those things where I've said before that my dad passed away a few years back. And a few years before that, he was a stroke victim, left and severely debilitated, bedridden. We had to take care of him like 24 hours a day up until he passed. And ever since that happened, it's like, if I get a phone call from a family member, I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing and I'm going to check it to make sure it's not a family emergency. So it's just like, even though I'm in the middle of the stream, I had to make sure that it, like, and they were all driving back from their trip. I had to make sure it wasn't like, oh, we got in a car accident or something terrible like that, you know? Durba says, thankfully this case is almost over. Logan's, McGilded, and Van Zeke's voices are slowly blending. I know, it's so bad. Frizzly says, I love McGilded's face. And Durba says, absolute cinema. Oh, wait, there's got to be like an absolute cinema meme with McGilded, right? Durba says, Mason had reason to kill McGilded. What if it was self-defense? Fun fact, Spanish has no distinction between in and on. It's the same word. Same for make and do. But what if you have to make do? You have to make do. Then you say the word twice. Okay, let's play some more. We gotta press this statement here now. In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Hold it! I mean, I guess it is possible they just might have said, just kill this guy so we can frame him down there. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, I don't know what these words are. No, not once, never! He'd never met the man before. He said, never. I like the pattern that he says something and he translates it for us. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. But he had a hat. He had a hat. Like an old crooked hat. I mean, it's an old hat, but it's a hat. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin. He said plural, but of course he owes money to Magnus. We're gonna come back to this. I want to press the other statement, so obviously that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna do the whatever thing. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna pursue it. We're gonna come back to it. We're just gonna skip it for now. That's right. This is about motive, and we had none. No motive. And, well, that's not all, is it? The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. Are you quite certain about that? That this skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Block means rag, and rag means block. Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is, of course. A fella the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all. What? Just looking at the size of the tin, you understand. Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of that tin means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, I broke wind. I tooted. I farted. I excreted the gases. I pooted. It was silent, though. It just went... I shocked myself with it, as it happens. That was loud for me. That was loud. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Or should I say, Mr. Fart? Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. Oh, but Just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Even to yourself? What did you eat? I feel like most people are kind of immune to their own farts. I mean, you can smell them, but it's like not bad if it's your own fart. It's stuff you ate. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as a rogue, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? I will. No British man has ever admitted to farting. Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside the cabinet shape. Oh, there's more! Okay, so we gotta choose which thing we're gonna press on. Maybe we gotta do both these, so this is gonna be for Lestrade. We're gonna come back, but this is gonna be the thing where it opens from the outside. So we'll do this one first, then I'll come back and do the other one after, okay? Huh. The skylight doesn't open, you say? So that proves it. We couldn't have kicked the victim down into the cabin below, I tell you. Neither of us could. Nobody mentioned anything about kicking anyone. Like I said, these details are little nuggets at best. It's the mother lode we should be looking for. Oh, hang on, yeah, I got a pin message. On Twitch, written by Oak, pinned by Vera, said, Logan, my mom is listening. Do you want to say hi? Hi, Oak's mom. I'm sorry, I just made some fart jokes. I don't normally do fart jokes. But, I mean, it's a normal bodily function. I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not being a bad influence. But farts are funny. Okay, let me read a couple more comments in the chat. Vera says, on with dates, in with months. Magpie says, it's on if it's on the 4th. It's in if it's in May. Lol. Eglin said, yeah. What Magpie said, Kai cute little face. And Vera says, I should have followed my gut feeling. I feel like that's got to be a lot of what fluency in language is, right? Kai says, what the F is this guy doing? Bumbo says, oggity boogity. How you doing, Bumbo? Vera said, first, please come back as a juror. And that just depends if first ends up being a murder or not. I mean, I was going with both these guys did it, with the mustache being a W on the dagger, but now I kind of like my Magnus is the killer idea. Let's see, let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Dermo says, it's on when referring to a day, in for months and years. The exception for months is if you're Orson Welles and someone tells you to say in July. You can't find a man who'll say in July. Find me a man who says in July and I'll make cheese with him. Okay, let's get back to this cross-examination. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? Hold it! Hold it! Huh. Proof. Huh. That's right! I demand to hear it! We came here to say what we saw, I tell you, not for this. But you call us both... These sound like... They look like swears! Brand us as criminals! You call us liars, that's what he means, and accuse us of doing it. Is it Australian slang? As it stands at the moment. There is no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves. Now he's there. I believe we're in much the same position as one another here. If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth!
I wonder if these two men really were involved in some way.
I couldn't say. I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I? Although, by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGilded either. It's so hard to know what to believe here.
I think we should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial.
Evidence.
No one can argue against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury.
So you're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence?
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, precisely.
Okay, so we gotta, what is it? Is pursue? Was that what we call it? On those two statements. I'm gonna do the fourth one, then the third one. So it's this one. Hold it! Press, get to the point where Gina Lestrade, got all surprised. And come on, we're almost there, right? They're saying that, yeah, you can't open it. Well, really, you can open it, but you can only open it from the top. Okay, come on. Size of the thing, size doesn't matter. Well, I mean, size matters a little bit. Size does matter a little bit for certain things. It's not the end-all, be-all. But, I mean, size does matter. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a big size. Maybe some people want a smaller or medium, average, a slightly above average size. Right here. Oh, this is where oh crap, I forgot that we gotta talk so much about farts first. I promised Oak's mom that I wouldn't talk more about farts. You're making me break my promise, lady, first. Okay, point is, got it can't be opened. I tried to open it when I was inside the cabinet. Ah, there we go. Okay, we gotta look around. Look around. Ain't you bet? Ain't you bet? Her voice sounded very different than I think I was expecting. But let's do this. Pursue! Excuse me! Excuse me! Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade!
It opens. Gina, out.
Huh?
The skylight. That's what we're talking about, right? Hey, gonna shoot you. Gonna kill you all. Loading, you're not even ducking out of the way. All them skylights open that easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon?
It's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, you can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out of my ears.
Miss Lestrade! This is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Actually, this is a perfect place. Because this is evidence. You can probably try her for theft later.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight. I opened the catch and jumped right through.
What?
Yeah, catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why I can't open them from the cabin.
The skylight opens from the roof deck? Bailiff! Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify those witnesses' claims. Ah, the invisible bailiff is up there right now. Click. Oh man, the invisible bailiff is so cool.
Ha! Oh, my hat. Say.
The invisible bailiff is my favorite character. Order! 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 So it appears that this street girl statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck.
Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for.
Yeah. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Ah, yes, my lord! So, the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Okay, let's do that. Let's save. And then we'll investigate, and then we gotta press on the, or pursue on the third statement, yeah? So we got a record, save my poggers, save my poggers. Before we do that, however, let me read some more comments in the chat. Actually, I need a sip of water first. I don't know why I'm so thirsty today. Let's see. Veer says, I honestly forgot if he does. Queen said, yeah, if it's an exact day, it's on Xmas. But if it's a month in general, then it's in Y. Bubba says, my Yuri is marriage. Oh, on Tomodachi Island? Said it is also supernatural undead Yuri, a ghost and a vampire. Queen says, Severo, pinged in spoiler chat, lol. Bubba says, lowercase q. Over the beard stuff. Magpie says, my contribution was Z because the right angle is required, but I think Logan's right, B is worse. Bubba said, my second vote is G. Queen said, fun fact, if you have the audio set to Japanese, this will also be voiced in Japanese, though probably either in Japanese or a different English, lol. Queen said, please pin, this is the final testimony of the case, you can do it! Okay, so I'm at the point where this testimony began. Bubba said, it's a non-Euclidean stand. It is as long as it needs to be. And it's also made of a non-Newtonian fluid, so, yeah. Tiff said, okay, I'm tired and have to be up early, so I have to catch the VOD. Night, y'all. Good night, Tiff. If you're watching the VOD now, hi. Hi, welcome from the past. I hope the future isn't a horrible nightmare dystopia. I hope you slept well. Tiff, thank you for being here. Good night, Tiff. I'm taking a look over to YouTube chat. Frilzy says, I love changing my profile picture every time I forget I set my pronouns to ham and sing is such a shock. Oh, you guys, I think I can see it's really tiny. Is that just the regular Magnus McGilded, or did you do an absolute cinema thing? It's so tiny on my screen. Katrina says, hello, I'm not going to be here long, but I will be here. Hi, Katrina. It's always a delight having you here. I feel bad whenever I miss you. If you say hi and then leave before I get back to the chat. How are you? Dermot says, Fruzy pronouns are ham. Dermot says, Gina voice line sounds like she's in her 20s, and McGilded sounds like he's 80. I know, okay, so I'm not the only one that thought that she sounded weird. Then, thank you. Okay, let's get back into this. So we want to go back to the third statement. We press this one again, and then there was a thing that we can pursue. Oh, wait, no. First, though, we wanted to look at the carriage. We wanted to take a closer look at it, right? We probably want to go in. I don't know if we want to go inside and look up or go on top and look down. Open the door and go inside, shall we? Oh, it's a murder. It's horrible. Yeah, let's try in here first, and then we'll try going up. Oh, wait, can I? There we go. And click. So, the catch for the skylight is on the top side.
Yes, but it's not fastened at the moment, so we can slide it open from here. Woo! You wanna climb up there? Can you do a pull-up? Can you do a pull-up, Rionosuke?
And then close it again.
Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo.
Why someone like me?
Oh, well, he is kickable. Ha!
What is it?
Look, just here, look at this!
Oh, blood! That's without question.
It's blood!
Why would there be a blood stain there?
Surely. It can't be unrelated to the case, can it?
I don't know how many people get murdered on these things. Details of the omnibus had been updated in the court record. There is a blood stain visible on the frame of the skylight when it's open. Let's see what happens if we look down on it from up on top. Can we climb up here? You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us. Okay, so that's it. So we added our thing. Splendid. Let's, because we added, let's just say, might as well, in case I mess up on this next part here. But as I said, we got to pursue on this, and we're probably going to be presenting evidence where he says there was no evidence that someone fell through the top, because now we have it. There's a blood stain there. But I first want to press this and pursue this. In any case, neither of us knew the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Oops, oh, wrong button. I gotta press the press button. Hold it! Hold it! Let's see if we can find which statement it was that Magnus McGilded coughed or grunted or whatever it was. Said something. Oh, there we go. No. Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who are inside the cabin. Okay, that's right. It's probably just going to be that he said plural. He has a connection to him because he owed him a lot of money. So let's do that. Pursue. Excuse me. Excuse me. Mr. McGilded.
Yes, counsel. What can I be doing you for?
Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow?
Huh. Not the remotest connection, is that right now? I wonder.
Huh?
What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay, 'tas been too long, so it has. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not, your repayment date? I beg your pardon. Heh. You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well, now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another. Hag! Ha! Hey! And young Mr. First.
Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir?
You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head? Is that one of your own creations, is it?
Oh, well, I'm just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. Hey, the perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is.
Oh, we're gonna say that it looks just like the one that Thrice Fired Mason has. We'll switch over to people here. I mean, not really. It looks lumpy and weird and stitchy.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as Thrice Fired Mason. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence before, my lord.
Hey, hey, this you mean?
I can't help thinking that the poor fella's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh. That's one of my hats. Aye, that it is, so it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. Huh? The sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir.
He should have been his own lawyer. He's good at this.
Well, there's really nothing more to add. Oh, it wouldn't be right to say the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. Bow. I rest me case.
That's what you say at the end of the trial. You're not allowed to say anything anymore.
You little weasel. Harg!
He's better at this than I am.
Gosh, Mr. McGilded has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please don't let me
Please, achievement unlocked, Hat Hunter, for having identified the milliner responsible for the victim's hat. Okay. That's an achievement, apparently. I'm glad we didn't present the evidence right away.
Please don't let me little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Okay, so we're gonna save before we present the evidence. It's gonna be the blood stain. We're gonna show when they said there's no proof that the victim fell through the skylight, yeah? Hi, da-ba-ba-ba.
How do gentlemen from back then bow without the top hat falling off?
I'm gonna assume bobby pins? Stapled, maybe there's like, they have all of them, have a lot of hair, and they just shove it up in there, so it's like a lot, and so it's like in there and keeps it up on top. Maybe they have it stitched to their flesh, just to keep it, and that's the problem Lady First has. He hasn't stitched it to his own skin yet. I think maybe it's just a really tight fit. That's a very good point. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Vera. Thank you. Let me take a quick look over the chat again. Quickita says, to Tiff, please check out the VOD later, please. Vera says, I was mainly napping through the day. I think I can stay awake better today. I hope so. Tiff says, Quickita smiles. And Vera says, good night, Tiff. Tiff says, good night, Vero. Oak says, Logan, what about the lip readers? Chris said, Logan, be grateful the viewers are not lip readers. When I got the phone call before, you would have heard me say stuff like, hi, is everything okay? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, how far out are you? Well, I hope just be safe. Hope everything's okay. I'm in the middle of a stream right now. I get something like that. You would not be very entertained by what it was. Eglin said, chat makes a bad lip-reading voiceover. Please do. Vera says, big ol' frown on first face. Quita said, Mason, did you mean Magnus? I did. And Vera says, I forgot his name was Magnus for a sec. Oak says, meowngnus. Let me have some water, hang on. I don't know why I'm so dehydrated today. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Frulzy, Frulzy's name has changed to Mick Frulzy. Absolute shocker. It's the absolute shocker pose. I forgot to change the name handle thing too. Derma says, genuinely, why did he hire Ryu? He's better as his own lawyer. I think he was going to be. I think it was Strongheart that hired us. Maybe Strongheart knows that he was guilty and was just kind of throwing us to the wolves. Or maybe Strongheart saw that we were, because that was the whole thing, remember? Strongheart asked us, if we would do this, and our whole thing was like, no, we can't. I can't put someone else's future at stake just for my own for my own benefit. I think Strongheart could tell that we were like an honest person, and this is our test. He's gonna send us here to get him convicted. Because if he didn't, he'd probably get away scot-free. Yes, I think it's what it is. I think it's what it is. And Derma says they actually have a haircut like a racer head under the hat/S. Oh, and a pin message over on Twitch written by Magpie. Pinned by Vera said the top hat likely sit. The top had likely sit much further, but for some hats, Logan wasn't far off. Hat pins were used by ladies to fasten their hats to their hair, which was worn taller. It was also the source of hat pin panic, in quotes, where men worried that women would use the hat pins to stab men, which if you're worried about that, you shouldn't get within stabbing distance, in my opinion. How big? I was assuming like bobby pins. These like big pins for like stabbing? Okay. All right, well, thank you for that trivia. All right, let's get back into the game now. So where was the statement where he said you have no evidence? Oh crap, I think it was the second statement, yeah. Was this one? No? Or maybe it was his final statement. Let's go to the very end. It's probably because at some point he said you don't have any evidence. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? This one. All right, we saved, right? So we're gonna present. And we're gonna present the blood that we just found. Is on the frame of the sky that went open. Present. Ka-chow! On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. So if it is Magnus, how do you get the blood there? Just like afterward, like scoops them up and smear it? Let's assume for a second that Bruce Fairplay and Lady First are innocent, that everything that they are saying is true, other than the stuff that we figured that wasn't, where it's like that they saw the moment of the stabbing. Like everything else is true. They said they saw someone sitting there with blood on both hands. That was not Magnus McGilded. That was Gina Lestrade. For some reason, she had blood on her hands. Maybe she helped Thrice fired Mason up onto the seat. Maybe she's the one who pulled out the knife, whatever. She had blood on both of her hands. Why would Magnus McGilded have blood on his hand? We assumed it was from pulling out the dagger, but maybe he smeared some up and then put some on the frame up there. Or, yeah, because it would have had to be afterward, because like, she wouldn't have been able to do that while they were sitting up there. So she probably helped him up, got blood on her hands. He smears a little bit of blood and puts it up there. And that's why there was blood on his glove, and he's just saying later that he'll... Because hang on, when we look at the knife, there's no blood on the handle. If he got blood on his glove from pulling this out of the stab wound, shouldn't there be blood on the handle? Right? It's totally Magnus. He's the killer. Remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utterly humbug! You can't possibly have any evidence! No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. It would be a pretty bold move in this game to have the first case we do against the prosecutor, the new prosecutor, we actually lose to. Because all the other games are like, oh my gosh, this prosecutor's so good, Edgeworth is so good, Franziska is so good, Godot is so good, and we're mopping the floor with these prosecutors the entire game. We're winning every case against them. That'd be pretty cool if Van Zeeks actually defeats us first. Counsel! My lord! I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? I'm gonna save just in case that has a weird way of making me select. I would just go in and we like point at it. That would be the easiest thing to do, just like open it up and point. Because like in universe, that's we stopped in the middle of this cross-examination, left, wandered inside and fiddled with the crime scene. And everybody else was okay with this, and apparently didn't notice what we noticed. You will point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. Okay, yeah, in the blood. It's the blood right there. Blood.
Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr.
Okay, we're gonna get a better angle here. The same dialogue as before. Oh yeah, so it probably has this in case we hadn't inspected it already, so we'd be able to find the blood now. Okay, so stay up there so I can present the blood. Present the blood. No! Okay, I gotta present from down here.
Got it!
Got it! By Jupiter! But not Saturn! Saturn's farther away. It's not quite that surprising. Is that blood? Dun dun dun! I'm in the future, but I still do that. Ugh! This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, people's got blood! When the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, that the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my. Huh. And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No. Oh, both of them. No. I still think he did it. Order!
Hold it!
Wait, oh, that was fair play. Fair play has its own sound.
Hold it!
But the blood could have been sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. That's right, so it would have been more difficult for them to stage this. I still don't trust this guy. You guys are all saying he's the best. Is it because he's a criminal mastermind? I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But, that's what he said. There's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. It's got a latch up there. But what if it was... What if it was unlatched beforehand? And, like, left open just a crack. So from inside, he'd be able to, like, smear some blood right in there. So that's why it's not, like, on the glass. Well, it would have been on the glass if he fell through anyway. But yeah, maybe he left it open a crack, like, just enough that he could fit his fingers through. Not sure. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? Oh, there's a big bloodstain there, yeah. 'Tis all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from a far height right there, so it seems. So it is. What? No! But it can't be. It's all... Lies!
Hold it!
My fellow jury members. Here's the other thing, too. I feel like if we gotta be toward the end of this trial, and in every other Ace Attorney game, when we get close to figuring out, or to pointing our finger, unless it's like a big twist final case sort of a thing, like, the culprit starts showing, like, cracks in his or her story. These two just keep, like, saying, no, we're innocent. It's Magnus. It's totally Magnus.
My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can. Yes, it's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they?
Type. I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful pork couldn't have done such a thing.
On three, then, everyone. 1, 2,
No! Okay, we gotta stop them. 3, stop them! Van Zeek, say something!
Objection!
Thank you, Van Zeeks! Huh? The bad guy is good!
Chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks? A blood stain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence
is null and void.
Because they did tamper with the crime scene. We learned that before because they emptied out everything that was underneath the seat. Yeah? What? Why?
For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Exists now. Do we even know it's the victim's blood? It might be someone else's. I mean, I know we don't have DNA testing way back in nowadays, but is there like, can they test for blood types? I'm gonna read some more in the chat, but I'm feeling better and better about my theory that it is Magnus McGilded, that our client is guilty in this one. Let's see. Eglin says, already read that. Queen Kitty says, well, now you gotta draw him as a cat. Vera said, cat with a knife pointed at it. Queen Kitty said, yes. Oak said, Logan, my mom's listening. Do you want to say hi? Oak says, Vero, could you pin that, please? Eglin said, every time fair play bites his cane, I always think for a split second, it's a gun. And Vera with a salute. Oak says, I asked my mom if she wanted to say hi to you, and she said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I thought I'd met your mom before. Didn't I speak directly to your mom one time? Vera says, laughing. Abe C says, for sure, it's the horse galloping. So does Logan from the skylight with the horse guy. How you doing, AMC? Bob said, weirdly, my thought was the smell would not stay much because moving, unless you are inside. Oh, we're talking about the fart again. Quiggin said, Logan, I made a meme. It's quite the meme. We'll share after we finish case 3. Oh, is it spoiler? And a timestamp, 1 hour, 20 minutes. Oh, look at that. I'm only 20 minutes behind. That's not too bad at all. And Vera said, this is me with white men. They're all clones of Ryan Reynolds. Oak says, can you tell the difference between Logan and my Uncle Bill? What about your Uncle Ted? Are Bill and Ted similar? I had an Uncle Bill. Let me take a look over YouTube chat. Let's see. Dermo says, it's still Ryu's responsibility to defend him, even if he's guilty, though. If not for innocent, then at least for sentencing. No, it totally is. Like, that's why I said before, it would still be dereliction of his duty if he, if he went like, oh no, he's guilty, I'm not gonna do it. Because, like, you do have a right to a robust defense. In fact, if you have reason to believe that your defense attorney intentionally threw the case, I'm pretty sure that is cause for demanding either a retrial or mistrial or something like that. So you do have to still do it. But I think it's going to be one of those things where there's something there, like the kernel of that whole concept I think is true. I think Stoneheart could tell he's guilty, and he could tell we're honest, and that this is going to be the test. The test isn't what he said it was to see if we can secure a not guilty verdict. The test, hang on. Did he just say he wanted to see if we could get a non-guilty verdict, or did he say, if you get not guilty, I will let you be a lawyer? Because maybe the test is to see if we get a not guilty verdict. Maybe he wants to get guilty because he knows. I'm gonna theorize that Strongheart like knows all of this stuff. He could tell Magnus McGilded is guilty. He could tell Magnus McGilded was going to get acquitted if he defended himself, and so he sent us there to stop that from happening. I'd assume that Stoneheart might be a bad guy, but maybe he's a good guy after all. And Derma says, this just means Zeke's is awful at his job. Well, he came in here at the right time, at the end. He was just waiting for the most dramatic moment to do it, you know? All right, sip of water, and then we'll play some more. Let's see. Objection! What you talk about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood. This substance right here that tastes like tomato paste, that I really just want to put on a burger, or maybe a well-done steak. That's blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb.
Huh?
So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began.
When the smoke went off. Oh crap, I don't want Lestrade to be an accomplice to murder. I want her to be a delightful scamp that's our friend. I want her to be our new weird girl sidekick. But are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was forged evidence? We're gonna get kicked out of the courtroom, become a pianist with a T, and usher in the dark age of olden-timey law.
Fabricated, my lord, yes. And while this court has been in session.
What? This is getting good. Hey, what a Okay, another word I gotta look up. Hang on. I didn't even click anything. Why'd it go ahead? Palaver. Palaver. Unnecessary or unnecessarily elaborate or complex procedure. Okay. So, what a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fella known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. And he's too cocky. He's too cocky. He's the killer. Mr. McGilded, I realize this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that the case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? Glug, 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 glug. When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however, ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. So, okay, if Van Zeeks knew about this, Strongheart definitely knew about this. My theory is I think it's definitely true. It's all coming together. Tut tut, Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh no! I'm a bad guy's goon. When did I become a goon? I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? Is Van Zeeks waiting to see what we're gonna do, maybe? But if yous will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? There was also a smoke explosion. Oh, hang on, we got a pinned message over on Twitch, written by Queen Giddy. This is our 5th glass of wine, by the way. I hope I can find some, and maybe we've already had one I missed. I hope we can find some pressed statement where he drinks some wine, and I can just loop it, and loop it, and loop it, and loop it dozens of times, and get him so drunk. How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? Nod along, me henchman, me little goon. It's true. The omnibus has in full view the entire time that court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. Okay, and this is him testing us, to see what kind of man we are. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think yes! Yes, let's say before we do this. But yes, we gotta be honest. We're a good boy. We're a good boy, not a good goon. We're not a good goon. We're bad goon. Being a goon is bad. Goon is bad. Goon bad. It could have been possible. On the other hand, as a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defense as best I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here.
You get different replies from Van Zeeks depending on what you choose, so try it out.
Oh crap, like right here? Darn it, did I miss it? Did I miss it? Was I too quick? Or is it like another choice is coming up here in a minute that we can save and like save Scott? Thank you very much, Vero, for the 10 bits. Oh, hang on, I should read some chat. Yeah, it looks like Azeric. Oh, Vera said you saved, it's fine. Oh, okay, so here, hang on. Here's what I'm gonna do. Oh crap, what did he just say? I wasn't paying attention. Hang on, let's look at the history. But still, I feel as though something more important is at stake here. So we're gonna save over a different slot. Okay, let's stagger it down to here. And let's reload the other one and see what he says if we said the other thing. We'll do it afterward. I wanna go a little bit further and see what would have happened, because I feel really good about this. So thank you very much, Vero, for the 10 bits. But yeah, over on YouTube, Derma says, Van Zeeks is acting real cocky given he's the one who let this happen. You knew he frequently tampered with evidence, and yet again, let him tamper. I think a lot of what Van Zeeks is doing is that it's a little bit of a power move. Like, he's confident, he knows he's got this in the bag, but I think more than anything, he's curious to see what we will do. I bet he's gonna report to Strongheart on our performance afterward and let him know if we can be trusted as a lawyer. That's my guess. I think he's sizing us up. Yeah. So that's my thought. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. That's not the question he asked. He asked if it was possible. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility.
Oh?
Oh, good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel! We know it's with the smoke bomb. We were here. We were all here.
Yes, there is. It seems my learned Japanese friend has no intention of running from this deceit.
Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take as a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. Okay, so we were obviously past the point. So let's go ahead and let's reload and see what would happen if we had said the other thing and what would have played out differently here, okay? Let's save here. Since Vera was saying that Van Zeek said something else. So I'll save there and we'll load here. Yes. And we want to say, it's out of the question.
Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo? You've fallen silent.
I want to say that it's out of the question. I mean, it has to be, doesn't it? But for some reason, I just can't bring myself to say it. Oh, illusion of choice!
But the omnibus has been in full view of everyone in the courtroom the entire time. It's out of the question that someone could have tampered with it, surely, isn't it?
You dumb, Susato! I thought you were smart. Read your book.
Oh my! You don't think? Might it actually have been possible?
As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defense as best I can. But still, I feel as though something even more important is at stake here. Oh, is this? So wait, this is the same dialogue as before. There's no evidence suggested. However, of the opportunity, there's one possibility. Oh, is this what's going to be different when Van Zeeks talks? Explain yourself, counsel. Hub.
Yes, there is.
It seems. Oh, no, this is the same. Oh, pin message. Veer said it wasn't this. Comes up as a question at some point that you can get different replies at someone. Okay, so apparently maybe it's something else. So let me go ahead and load the game from before. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching out for me. I just, okay. Sip of water here. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. Bang! That was actually the sound of Lady First's fart earlier. The smoke gun is silent. It just makes a kind of noise. What is going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. It's poo gas.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
I hereby call an emergency recess. Got one right here. That's my emergency recess. Still left over from Christmas. I think it's still good till the end of the month. I had stocked up on the day after Christmas sales. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, spin around! It could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus! That was a cool move I just did. That was pretty cool. Dropped my water, but it's almost empty. It didn't spill or anything. Are you wise? Oh, look at that! Yeah, he's totally the killer. What are you trying to pull, you rotten? I know that's not a swear, but I always worry if I say it not carefully enough. It might turn into a swear, so it's feckless gouger. Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Yeah, this he might get a retrial. Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as... To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. So are we gonna say that Lestrade, Gina Lestrade, wasn't actually hiding in there? That she was coached by McGilded to say that, and she was just hired to help him do this cover-up here now? But we still did the whole thing with seeing somebody had blood on both their hands, though. There was a... Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. If only the game had let me open it, I tried to. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. One of the other people is Scotland Yard. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Safe! Safe! I think so! I don't know what, but it probably... What else is unusual about it? I have an inkling. Got that inkling. My lord. Yes, counsel. There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. Oh, a mark? A mark? Is the Phoenix Wright omnibus? Is that? Oh, there was a skid mark somewhere, wasn't there? Up by the... No? Was there a skid mark somewhere? Am I thinking? Oh, I think I'm thinking of the last trial. How there was this, or was there? Up on top? Was there a skid mark inside? Hang on, we gotta look around. I gotta see what this is. I know. Let's open up. Susato, you don't gotta say that every single time. There's that blood. The sign. The poster. Was there something else inside of here? Okay, seat has a handle. Yeah, was there anything inside? Storage compartment, nothing inside, totally empty. Something doesn't seem right, can't put my finger on what it is. Okay. A mark. The posters were both the same thing. I mean, is it the fact that there's no footprint in the blood? Hang on, let's compare this to the photograph that we have of the victim. We might be able to see a difference. I mean, there's the fact that he was stabbed in his stomach, and the blood's not gushing all over the place, so he shouldn't be sitting in a pool of his own blood, right? He shouldn't be sitting in a pool of his own blood, unless he pooped out some blood, which is possible. And the very fact that he is sitting there means that it should be impossible? We also have this whole thing with him, his face is partly obscured from view by an old crooked hat. But that's not, that might just have tied into the fact that, Lady First was a hatter, and that might have been just a clue for that. Let's take one more look inside. Sorry, I'm just having to think here. I thought there was... For some reason, I thought there was a skid mark somewhere. Okay. So there's blood on the hatch. He falls through. Lands on the floor, supposedly leaves a big blood stain there. McGilded and or Lestrade, I mean, according to Lestrade, McGilded scoops him up and sits him down there. How would that blood have gotten there on the seat? That blood, that's blood that soaked into the seat, the victim's, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder?
Well, it was after dark.
I mean, I guess maybe if he fell in, like maybe his chest could have hit that and
there was a lamp on here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it does seem like it was a planned attack. Earlier, he said there's something didn't seem right about the seat. I wish I could have like changed angle. Let me look outside one last time. I mean, I wonder if it'll give me multiple choice or if it'll like just make me go in here and click on something. Is it on the steps? No, nothing on the steps. Have I looked at the sign up here? Can't find anything out of place. Oh, wait, but it's like highlighted though. Is it this butt imprint from the driver? Can I just like climb up to the top and take a look around? Okay, that's the seat. There's nothing. He said a mark, specifically a mark. Okay, for the moment, I'm going to assume that it is the blood on the seat, because if he was sitting there and his stab wound was in the abdomen, he shouldn't have left any sort of a mark, right? Can we click the stairs? Or you shouldn't have left a blood stain where he was sitting. I guess we'll just go. Did I save? I'm gonna save again. But I'm gonna stagger this again. All right, let's see what happens. Maybe the game is just gonna decide for me. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. Why? What in the devil's name are you gonna say now? If you dare betray me, you little maggot, you'd better start watching your back. Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? Yeah, I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Oh, crap. Okay, so it is inside the cabin. Where exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? Save again. I know I keep saving. It's just my way of stalling while I'm trying to think of what to do. Okay, so we can only present. I don't think I can interact with anything. It's not gonna be the bloodstain up there because Van Zeek's already talked about that. It's gonna be this one? Let's try it! Fingers crossed!
Got it!
I think, crap! It must be this mark here. If you mean the mark of sweat around your collar, that has certainly gained prominence over the course of the proceedings. It would appear you are clutching at straws in desperation, Counsel, as evidenced by your abundant perspiration. It's a cold sweat, my lord.
We're so close, Mr. Naruhodo. It's something that Lord Van Zeek appears not to have noticed.
Okay, so it couldn't be something big and obvious like that, something small.
That's the correct answer here.
In other words, something that the prosecution hasn't mentioned. Yeah, I still have to ask you to elaborate, Counsel. I'm gonna load so I can have full health still. Load. Okay, so something else. Some other mark. I mean, the door looks normal. The skylight has blood there, but Van Zeek's already mentioned that. There's nothing on the window, nothing on the window. Can I press spacebar to get like more commentary about these things? That's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, centerpiece of the whole exposition.
Ooh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People are...
Okay, so I can click things. Let's open this up. Because he said something didn't seem right. Oh, that's it, we're not opening it up, so it can't be in there. Was there anything different on this poster? I don't think so. I think it was the exact same thing. And like, oh, the Crystal Tower, fizzing with excitement. A mark. I mean, there's the blood stain there. Prosecution already mentioned it. Did we not mention the blood on the ground? I mean, that's not an inconsistency if he fell through the skylight. The only marks seem to be blood up there, blood down here, and blood here. I don't see like a scuff mark anywhere. Or like shoe prints on the seats. Let's see what happens when we click the seat. I think it was just that, oh, it looks comfortable, but it's not very comfortable. The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really.
Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here.
A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? They do not have pockets. It's not the handle. I can't click the other seats. It does look like there's initials kind of scrawled in the corner there. CT, I don't know what that means. I can't even, like, it doesn't get highlighted on the windows. Can I leave the cabin? Can I head outside? I cannot. Okay, so I guess it's gotta be the blood stain on the ground. I mean, there doesn't appear to be a mark on the handle. Is it the lack of a mark? The fact that there's no blood on the handle, that if he... Well, because he only had blood on one glove anyway. Let me try this.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, there was no blood before. So that's all the inconsistency was. We don't remember seeing it. It's not that it's inconsistent with the facts, it's inconsistent with our memory. But as far as I recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus first brought into. Okay. I couldn't remember that. How long have we been playing this case? Like 2 weeks? Hooray! Yes, I do believe you're correct. How would Van Zeeks not notice that, though? Well said. He did notice it. He just didn't mention it. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. Where I slip my tongue is none of your business. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. He's honest. He's a good boy. Not even giving you a ... Ew.
This trial is over!
Mr. McKilded!
I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now!
Gonna see his breakdown. I'm excited for this. Okay, we have a poll on Twitch that has appeared paid. Who does Logan most resemble? The options are Germa, Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, Oak's Uncle Bill, or Queen Elizabeth II. I will refrain from voting since I cannot see myself very well. But go ahead and cast your votes. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Wait. Okay, hang on. I gotta scroll up a little bit. I was trying to figure out where I am. Dermo says, Frilzy says, rare lone 360-degree pan, Evil Colon 3. Now I can 3D scan Logan. Derma says, hang on. Establishing the evidence was able to be tampered with is a double-edged sword. Anything could have been altered, thus nothing can be trusted. It's invalidated. The entire scene is now unusable. That is a very good point. I've said this before. Logan looks a lot like Germa. People on YouTube keep saying I look like Kirtland brand Germa. So I guess you could, maybe I should cast a vote on your behalf then, Dermo. Since you're not over in YouTube, I will do that on your behalf. Is that fair? There we go. Vote cast on your behalf. Let me read some more comments over on Twitch, though. Vera says, probably yes if your uncle got wrinkles. If not, then no. Vera says, if I see Logan on the street, I'd probably walk by him and he would have to recognize me first. McGilded, don't bring his debt into court. It's unfair. Oak says, Vero, I sent a picture on Discord. Magpie says, the top had, oh, that was pinned earlier. AMC said, they never actually look do. Vera says, the more you know. And Magpie says, the top had likely sit much further. The top hat likely sit lower on the head. I believe was what I meant to convey, lol, likely around the crown. Oak said, just tested, and Vera is telling the truth. They cannot differentiate white men. Magpie says, to be fair, neither can I, TBH, says Magpie. Vera says, you were playing dirty. Queen says, I'm so evil for reasons right now, smiley face. Oak says, I sent 2 pictures of different guys, and Vero thought they were the same person. Vero, I sent another test. Queen said, spoiler clips incoming soon after this scene. AMC says, Spanish, gasp. And Bumbo with the Hydrate Man, thank you very much. I'll finish off this water. And because there was hardly any in it, I will start a new water. So thank you very much, Bumbo. By the way, we are close-ish to 2.5 hours. So if people want to start keeping an eye out for raid suggestions for when we reach 3 hours later. And the poll is done, and it's a tie between Germa and Queen Elizabeth II, both of which received 33% of the vote. So I guess that's what it is. Queen Germizabeth. The 985th. Okay, we might see a breakdown soon. Also, at the rate this is going, we might not reach the end of this tonight.
'Tis all over now.
But you're the defendant.
'Tis over, I tell ye.
Huh?
Memory, recollection, what people think they saw. 'Tis all nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is, bloodstain is there now? And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good for nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord.
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. That's what a testimony is. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue.
Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? Maybe we won't see a breakdown. Maybe he will get not guilty, and we'll get him later in the game. He's gonna be the big bad, Magnus McGilded.
The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present.
Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty.
Yes.
Which would mean we've won.
Is that really the right outcome here? Let's say, I feel like it's gonna ask me. Obviously, we want to do the right thing. I mean, right in terms of finding the truth, not right in terms of what we should do as a defense lawyer. Because whatever the formality is, he's gonna say, do you have anything else to say? And we'll say, I have an objection, I don't know. Is it really all right for the trial to come to an end now? With all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense. Your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes... Is this the thing that Vero wants me to say different things on? So I'll save right here. Just in case we want to go back and see what happened if we said it differently. And we'll say that he could be guilty. But again, it doesn't matter if he could be. Oh, Vera says yes! Okay, so we're gonna do what we obviously should do, say that the defendant could be guilty. And then we've gotten a little bit, we'll rewind and see what would happen if we said the defendant is innocent. Thank you, Vero! The defendant could be guilty.
Objection!
No! Thank you, Bucky! How are you doing, Bucky? Should I read some more of the chat? Let me just do a few lines here, then I'll be back to the chat soon. Thank you, Bucky. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot, in all good conscience, attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? We should never let this guy be a lawyer. He doesn't understand what his job is. Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good. It's not your job. Reasonable doubt. Gavel slam. Good gracious me! Oh, look, he's animated. He's breathing. Order! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused innocent into question? Are you of sound mind? Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. Again, he should be able to ask for a mistrial for this, or something. I don't know if that's the right word, mistrial. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, 3D! Have this for your troubles. I'll catch the next one. Ah! Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so have ye. So you have. What do you mean? Oh, is he firing me? 'Tis just the right honourable gentleman so succinctly put it afar. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality.
I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said.
Oh. Ah, the stinking rich are always guilty of something. Mark my words.
I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely pork.
There you go. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, ... I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Let's save on a different slot. Stagger it backwards. And let's reload and see what happened if we had said the other thing, like I think Vero had wanted. See if we get special dialogue from Van Zeeks. The defendant is innocent. Huh. As Mr. McGilded's legal representative. Crap. When it gets dark like this, it means it's the illusion of choice. I can't breathe. The air in here is stifling. But I'm this man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say in this situation. I believe the defendant, Magnus McGilded, to be innocent of the allegations brought against him! Okay. All right. Well, thank you, counsel. Pour. Glass. Here's to you, my Japanese friend, and the most abject closing I have yet to hear in a court of law. Order! Order! Okay, so now we're back to laughing. So, by the way, for the sake of Queen Katie's wine glass counter, that shouldn't count, because we're erasing this from the timeline now. We're reloading to a different one. That never happened. That did not happen. That never happened. He never took that glass of wine. I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. Zoom in on me dramatic. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court. ... To ... B... ... The way it's zooming in, is he gonna say guilty anyway? Is he gonna say guilty? He's probably just gonna say not guilty.
Objection!
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not! We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies! We have no idea about the truth! It's not your job! Lord Van Zeeks! My lord. The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place.
My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
Yeah. But, wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence to be secured! Yeah. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair! The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. What? That's juries do. What? Now he's alone on the stand. The bad guy gets away with it.
Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, me dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
Why is he saying that? Is it because that, like, even his defense lawyer acted like he could be guilty, and yet he still was declared not guilty, and so he's like saying, like, look, that just proves it. Even with a defense lawyer doing that, I still was acquitted.
You mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? 'Tis the law of the land, me good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded.
Good grief, you've more to say to me, have ye?
Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over.
Feels like later on in the game, Magnus McGilded is gonna like frame Van Zeeks for something as revenge.
Well, something to be looking forward to then.
I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded. I'm gonna do another objection. Defense. Not guilty! Gumshoe ancestor in the past, throw confetti. Oh yeah, you're already on top of it. Thank you! Thank you, Richard Gumshoe, Senior, the negative 12th. Well, probably wouldn't be 12 generations, never mind. Hubbub, I can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. Huh. I guess we're a lawyer. I guess we won. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. With the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. Wait, everything's fading out. Are we not going out to the... Oh yeah, well, there we are. Thought the chapter was just going to end. 18th February, 5:14 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber.
That certainly was a long trial.
Ah, yes, it was. I mean, not compared to a lot of the ones in this game series.
Your first ever trial on foreign soil, and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. Bow. My heartfelt congratulations.
And to you, Miss Usato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened.
Well, we didn't have enough time.
But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that.
The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty. To perfection.
I thought you did. Lestrade. I still like her, even though I guess she's a bad guy. I don't want her to be a bad guy. Can she have a redemption arc? Can she be our friend? I want her to be a good guy. I'm gonna read some more comments in the chat. Kaifi says, sexy, not vampire man. Oak says, I don't have an Uncle Ted. My dad is Ted. Oh, well, yeah, as long as there's a Bill and a Ted. That's all you need. Then you can have an excellent adventure. AMC said, mistrial and retrial. Oak said, Logan, if you put ketchup on well done steaks, I will unfollow you, find your location, steal all your money, and fight you in person. I've done it in the past. I prefer steak sauce, though. But usually if it's well done, it's gonna be dried out and needs some kind of sauce on it. Oak says, well done steak is bad enough. Ketchup on steak is unforgivable. Magpie says, palaver. Oh, so that was the pronunciation. I just read the definition before. Quicket said, this is our 5th glass of wine, by the way. Bucky said, why is bro drinking in court? Pretty sure that's illegal. This is back in olden times. You could drink and drive back in those days. You could drink in anything. You could drink while pregnant. You could drink while being a baby. Anything goes back in olden days. How are you doing, Bucky? Bubba said, what would he be drunk in the courtroom at this point? Kyvie said, the court's getting too intense. Gotta take a drink to calm down. Bucky with some emotes. Kyvie says, I want a snack. I'm going to get a snack. See you when you get back, Kyvie. AMC said, Logan, a goober. Hee hee. Bucky said, we're all robo-goons here. Fear said, you saved. It's fine. You click save. Logan, okay, phew, he did it on purpose. Quiggita said, phew, we're good, Logan. Vero, I meant Vero. Quiggita says, lol. Vera said to my heart, stop for a second. Quiggita says, I typed brain A. Vera said, it wasn't this. It came up as a different question at some point. You can get different replies at some point. Magpie says, I love all the ambient Freakazoid references we get in these streams. I love Freakazoid. I love Freakazoid so much. Magpie. I was just thinking about it the other day, the Lord Bravery episodes. I love those ones. Quiggita said, I was going to ask, are those Christmas Reese's? They are. It expires at the end of this month, and I'm almost done with that bag, and then I get to move on to the bag of Easter candy. Let's see. Quiggita said, Logan, this has to be a TikTok. Please, what has to be a TikTok? Quiggita said, oh, you're turning 180 degrees. Oh, I went more than 180. I went 360. AMC said, Logan, you okay? What happened? Vera said, thank you for the back of your head reference. I'm glad I finally called your hair for being kind of faded. Is it? I think it's just because it barely got cut. Vera said, vindicated in my Tomo life decisions. Quiggita says, spoiler clips finally incoming soon. AMC says, it's patty juices. Quingeti with a smile. Kyvie said, didn't ... we see the inside before. Quiggita said, Logan, you can't be serious, lol. This is why I made spoiler clips keyboard slam. If he yells for potato, I will bash him with hash browns. I'd forgotten that we hadn't seen that at the beginning, and I thought that he had mentioned that, and it made sense. The poop puddle of blood I thought was more inconsistent. Let's see. Vera said, you can't win them all long. Logan can't perceive his toes. Well, they're not out right now. My feet are covered. Vera says, also the top of his head. Still there. Okay, good. Kyvie says, that's not how bleeding out works. AMC said, if he fell from the sky, how would he be seated? Oh, it's because when he fell down, one of these two put him up on the seat. I think McGilded said that he did, but we don't know if that's entirely true or not. Vera says, I think Magnus said he sat him down. Vera said, McGilded is fully throwing a tantrum right now. Quiggita said, please pin Logan. I have a giant hash brown of a hint. I cannot think of anything else. If you ask for a potato, I will deliver breakfast. What would the hint have been? Said, I will cheer the wildest if Logan gets this, though, on first try. Vera said, let him present once, and then I'll pin it. Quiggita said, watch him do it by brute force, though. Vera says, Quiggita says, oh gosh. Vera says, oh buddy. Quiggita says, Logan, ... Vera said, I will say it's glaring, not small. Quiggita said, yeah, he's gonna need a hash brown for sure. I blame the game for calling it a mark. That was weird, calling it a mark. Vera says, wait, this is no fun. Give him, this is fun. No one give him hints. Quiggita said, it's totally going to be brute force, though. Oh my gosh, I have never felt such cringe since redacted investigations, too. Vera said, laughing, I love when he's not smart all the time. I need this drawn. Actually, Quiggita said, quick, someone summon Mark to the stand. Keyboard slam, Logan, you're not serious. Vera says, Logan looking down with a giant blood stain and saying, Mark? Thinking out loud. Quiggita said, he's going to feel so dumb when he sees spoiler clips. Vera said, it's so cartoonish. Quiggita says, I'm so glad you're here, Vero. I would hate to suffer alone. And there was Oak with a redeeming pole, who I look like. Kyvie said, make a pun about it so I can understand before Logna. Quiggita says, Logan. Vera says, handshake. Quiggita says, he got it on brute force. I'm so mad. Oh, now you say that. This Logan. Anyway, spoiler clip now. Kyvie said, it was the blood on the floor, wasn't it? Spoiler clips. First, let me take a look at YouTube chat. Dermo says, it's interesting how this is one of the only cases which doesn't follow the must prove someone else guilty method of defense. I like it because this is what it should be. But it is inconsistent with the Ace Attorney universe. You could say it's because we're in England, but it feels weird, you know? And Derma says, indoor fireworks. A bloodstain isn't a mark, though. It's bad phrasing. It is. And Dermo, by the way, like, I hope you're okay staying up. We're over 2.5 hours into the stream, and you're still awake. I know that you have an early day tomorrow, but I appreciate you being here. I love having you here. Okay, sip of water. Before we continue, however, we have a couple of clips to check. For those who are lurking or new or do not know about this, anytime someone in our community posts a clip, we watch the clip together on stream. A couple of our community members, in particular, Queen Katie, has a thing called spoiler clips. These are when I guess something either very, very right, very, very wrong, or accidentally foreshadow something. And so we have two of these really quick from Queen Katie. Let's take a look at them. The first one is from yesterday. Oh, it was clipped yesterday, so I don't know what stream it's from. Titled, in Mickey voice, "This is an important clip to use for..." Oh, wasn't that a thing on, is it, which, is it Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? This is an important clue or important something? Can't even fit crap in your pockets. Pocket sucks, Susato. I'll teach you for use later. Girl. Blood. This is an important clip for use later. I'm the blood, actually, yeah, as well, but anyway. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that? I wonder.
Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. So that was just to show that we could see the bottom, that we could see the floor there. That we could see the floor, that there was no blood there. So let's take a look at this other one real quick. And this clip is titled, Ryunosuke, nah, it can't be important. Oh, hang on. This is from yesterday as well. Looks like this is from a different stream, though.
You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger.
I knew that for a fact. Oh, yeah, we gotta examine the carriage. We gotta find her hiding place. I was gonna do this before. We gotta do it before the game. Oh, is this gonna be the first time that we see the blood and I'll be like, was that there last time? I bet.
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Oh, the scene of murder. It's horrible. Was there always the blood stain on the ground? Have we always looked at that one? I can't remember if we did or not. See, I couldn't even remember. I couldn't even remember. This is what happens when you do these trials in more than one sitting. But thank you very much, Queen Katie, for recording and further illustrating my stupidity in this. Thank you very much. And Vera said, yep. And Queen said also, Logan, I don't know if it's in the clips, but when you check the blood on the floor, Ryunosuke was like, wait, why didn't Van Zeeks mention this at the start of the trial? Lo and behold! Oh, Vera said the game also said Mark, so it was kind of misled Logan and thinking something small. Queen said also, congrats, Logan, there's a final thing to do in this case. You're done with case 3. Well, it's still got cutscene. And Kyvie says, there's no Lupin in the poll. Oh yeah, Lupin the third. Oak says, I was going for real people, and Bucky said, Logan looks like a little like Doctor Who as well. When I grow my hair out a bit, I think, Bucky, I think I've shown you. I've got even here, the 10th Doctor's, you can hear it, there's Sonic Screwdriver. I have cosplayed as the 10th Doctor, David Tennant Doctor. And Vera's laughing. Queen said, I need a good water drink after all that nonsense, and a hydrate. Thank you very much. We'll get back in the game after this little sip of water. Let's see, Owen over on YouTube, Dermo says, yeah, I figured we'd finish this case way earlier. Oh, well, I'm so sorry, Dermo. That's the thing, like, never underestimate Logan time. It takes 2.5 times as long as everybody else for me to do things. And again, I do hope that Lestrade gets to be our friend. So here. Mr. McGilded. Ah, and that girl is with him, too.
Well, it seems the stories are true.
Oh? What stories?
About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty.
Oh, inside. That's not safe.
I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely.
I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not really sure I did anything.
On what earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man, then?
I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning.
You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you?
I must say you had me astray. You had me astray in the head there for once or twice. But you're young and headstrong, and 'tis water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared.
But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. Okay, another word. I'm assuming it just means bad. Let's gotta Google this one. Abstinent. Discordant or unreasonable? Okay. Abstinent. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellas of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I've absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Oh, hang on, I just noticed we got a pin message on Twitch written by Vero. Says, this was one of Spoiler Chat's most controversial discussions because we couldn't tell if you noticed or not because we made a poll on that. We discussed if the way the poll was worded was wrong. So, guess we know for sure. I'm sorry. I let y'all down. I feel like I was smart on some things, though, just not everything. I will read a couple more comments because I am way behind. We are less than 20 minutes away from the 3-hour mark, by the way, so anybody got raid suggestions? Let me know. Queen Gator says, man, hey Vero, let's do slow mode. He's at the top of chat, especially considered what's coming up soon tonight. Boba says, good job, Vero. Queen Gator, the timestamp, 2 hours, 14 minutes. Yeah, look, I'm almost a half hour behind now. Oak says, ad quote, I'm Queen Germizabeth 985th. Kyvie says, maybe Logan should read chat after finishing this segment for real, for real. Oak says, Logan. Vera said, not I believe. Crystal says, yes, I'm Vero. And then there's the ad quote. Vera says, 100%. Kyvie says, isn't there someone taking notes? Oak says, Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? Missionary. Quick with a smile. Kyvie says, too boring. Bucky says, oh, no. No, he likes to make eye contact the entire time. Magpie says, have you seen Van Zeeks though? There's no way he knows anything else. He's too Catholic, trademark for that. Vera says, yes. Queen said, this is the one. Vero. Magpie says, like not necessarily religious Catholic, but he has the guilt, lol. Vera says, I think it is. And then Bucky with a objection and some dancing emotes, and Magpie says, that was so well timed. I was going Edgeworth from the future. And Vera says, not guilty, by the way. Bucky says, when I'm in a not guilty competition and my opponent is McGilded. And Vera says, laughing. Queen says, I count this glass of wine even though it's to be white from the time I know. It says, oh, we're at 6 now. Oh, 5 then. Okay, thank goodness. Whew. Time travel has removed it. Vera said, well, Logan said no. Bubba said 5 and a quantum sip. There we go. We can have a second counter for quantum sips if you want. Let me take a look over YouTube chat. Let's see. Derma says, I was going for real people. Then why is Germa in the poll? Is he not real? Is he a lizard person or an android or something? Said, Ryu, if you think he's a murderer, why are you making an enemy of him? That is a good point. I feel like if I thought somebody was a murderer, I would not try to make that person mad at me. Derma says, Logan, you really should finish the case. People have a lot more to say then? Chat will explode. Oh, okay. Is there going to be like a big cliffhanger? Is Susato going to be murdered or something? It's not that funny. It's a little funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Ah, beweast! Ara, beweast! You're a humble people, are ye? You're a humble people, are ye? You from the east. He should take the money. He's you know, he earned it. Well, if you insist. Oh, Yagabo! But have this still and all, you deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded! I'm the invisible bailiff. I saw what you did. Bang, 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 bang.
Magnus McGilded, where is he? I have no eyeballs! Everything is ready, sir, if you'd like to follow me into the courtroom.
Into the courtroom? Is he gonna get assassinated? Well, what's going on?
What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not convenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
I was gonna say maybe Fair Play and First are getting accused, but they wouldn't have a trial so soon for that.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry, what inspection?
They're gonna examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
They're going to examine it again? Now?
We're gonna find another dead body in there?
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty. Duty, so it is. So then, farewell to thee. Farewell, fare thee well, huh? Can't read. Fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain.
And there he goes. A free man. Hi, Lestrade, will you be my new weird girl? I mean, is he done? Are you done gooning for him? Oh, I forgot she was here too. Oh, crap! Oh, no! Run away! Hide! She takes forever to load! It's a long reload animation! It's your own fault, Ryunosuke! Don't move! Whereas I want to say, get a move on! She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. She doesn't trust adults? I hope that's not part of some, like, dark backstory. They wouldn't go really that kind of dark with Ace Attorney. Sorry?
And I hate all grown-ups.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Someone who knows her. Oh, I'm gonna guess it's Herlock to get his gas gun back.
Ah, there you are.
She's tiny. Oh, look at her goggles! They have the Herlock Sholmes logo on them! And she has hearts on her gloves. Hang on, chat. Is this the Maya Fey weird girl?
Naughty, running off like that!
Her head is so big compared to her body.
I'm just a little girl, tiny little girl, naughty, you!
Because other than that, for like a little kid, I'd want to do the little waif or the orphan waif voice. But that she seems too, I don't know, sassy for that. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now?
And taking that with you as well.
I wonder if I should read some chat and see if I can get to where get caught up-ish and find out if this is the girl that's supposed to have my voice, or if you guys are all upset. You're like, no, not this one. You always are saying you'll know her when you see her, but it might not. Let me read some more in the chat then. Quita said, I've already forgotten. Wood wine glass number 6. Vera says, sorry, Ryu, the world is unfair. Kaiba says, is he going to fire him? Vera said, if it was my lawyer, I would too. Kaiba said, no, I meant, is the judge going to revoke the prosecutor's right as a man of law? Vera said, maybe he's suspended for a while? I know this will be the gossip of the town for a while. AMC said, you got an innocent verdict. Vera says, you had to be there. I was busy at my job, darn it. Kaiba says, is this how we get changes in law? Oak says, Logan, well done steak is dried out. That's why you don't cook it well done. You don't need sauce. But then it's blood. Oh. I'm a germaphobe. Vera says, it's the cool haircut. Kind of faded, is it? I don't think I have a cool haircut. Oh, hang on, we got a pin message. The upcoming spoiler chat server icon is here. Okay, so it's this girl. It's this girl with the bow-shaped hair. Huh. Over on YouTube, Derma says, Ara? He's Irish, not an Onesan. Then Maya Voice. Whose sass lost child is this? She's gotta be Herlock's, right? The thing is that, like, Sherlock Holmes, canonically, I mean, he kind of seemed to have a thing for Irene Adler. I think in the actual canon of Sherlock Holmes, he never really had any romantic inclinations with her. I think there's probably some expanded universe where the two of them got together. So does he have a kid? Is this Herlock Sholmes' kid? I hope if this is Herlock Sholmes' kid, I hope her name is Himlock. Then the dude is Herlock and the girl is Himlock. Anyway, let's play some more of the game.
I'm taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher! Ha!
Oh no, it's Lestrade. I can't switch back and forth these voices yet. Whoa! She's got a bazooka with a heart-shaped scope.
Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me!
Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor?
Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. It's like walking around outside in Utah. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all?
Just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing into a different omnibus, and she pinched it! Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
What? A what? I have no idea what this girl is talking about.
Phew! Anyway, you're coming with me now! Back to my laboratory! What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before.
Oh, no, she hates adults.
An adult? I don't listen to no adults.
Okay, so yeah, she obviously works for Herlock, or is her daughter. And that's gotta be her technician, is Herlock, yeah? I hope Herlock, like, softens Lestrade and becomes like a dad to her then.
Come along then, follow me! Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that what she wants to do is not get shot by that massive gun of yours!
Just drop it on the floor. Curtsy. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
Are you gonna say your name at least?
Phew.
She was a lively one. Okay, something's gonna happen in there while they're investigating the omnibus. I think Magnus McGilded is gonna get killed. Magnus McGilded's gonna be Magnus McKilded.
Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too?
Yes, you're right. But where to?
Oh,
Well, we should go back to Strongheart, yeah? We haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. Oh, we're homeless, okay. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
huh. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings.
But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Yeah, it's the early afternoon, probably.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night.
Stay in McGilded Park. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but to our youthfulness will see us through. But be careful, McGilded Park is frightening in the dark. Someone left a cake out in the rain.
I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh! Go die! Ryunosuke, go die in the park. She's sad. She wants you to die. Don't make a girl cry like that. Go freeze to death in a park.
Oh dear. That doesn't sound agreeable.
Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. Regilda down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Trying because you try people, a trial ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over. And... oh, a cutscene. Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on?
The fire brigade!
Oh, what? Oh, the omnibus is on fire?
What the? How did this happen?
Who's this guy?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
Can you guys hear it? It sounds quiet.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Is McGilden gonna stagger out? I'm in here dead.
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
Then open the door! Hey, you, whoa, yo. Santa Claus here. Hi.
This can't be.
This can't be. Vampire. Oh, it's an X-shaped scar. I thought it was just a line. So that's gonna be our next victim. Is whoever's dead in there. I think it's gonna be McGilded. Magnus McGilded is deaded. And achievement unlocked: the Realm of the Reaper for completion of episode 3 of the Great History. Save my poggers! Yes, save my poggers! Save my poggers! Save my poggers. Oh my gosh, and I'm still behind in the chat. Okay, next is the adventure of the clouded Kokoro. Okay. This right here in the middle looks like Sherlock Holmes's apartment. It looks like the type of thing I would expect for that. So I assume we're going to finally see Herlock again. That'll be nice. And again, I hope Lestrade is his new weird girlfriend. I'm going to read some more comments in the chat. Let's see. Queen Katie said the hash brown hint was going to be, there is something in this omnibus that Ryunosuke has said something odd about. I am slamming you with this hash brown. Please notice I cannot give any more hints. Crystal with some raid suggestions. Thank you very much, Crystal. Let me copy these over into my text file. They will come in handy before. Oh, and as I'm looking at the text file, I forgot to mention when Vero got here that you missed the random Transformers check earlier, and it was Optronics, which was in the Dreamwave universe. That was the Optimus Prime's pre-Prime name. They decided that Orion Pax didn't sound cool enough, so they called him Optronics. But thank you very much again, Crystal. I'm copying these over now. Crystal says, oh, and also AMC. We have rated AMC before, but I will add that to the list as well. Thank you. There we go. Eglin said, this is a surprise tool that'll help us later. I feel like I've seen that as a meme with like Mickey Mouse holding a gun or something like that. Am I remembering correctly? Queen said, did Logan not see the no blood spot on the clip? Logan, the floor is blank. I made that clip to remind you of the first trial. It took me a minute, but then I realized what it was. Kavya said, don't forget to use our handy dandy mouse tool. Queen said, yeah, I'm happy to finally have those shown after the nonsense. Pin message written by Oak said, please pin new Vero ribbon profile picture. You can see it full screen in the Discord art channel. You should check it out. Okay, hang on. This is important business. I'm guessing this is going to be the little girl, whom I am just going to, for right now, call Hemlock. I don't know if there's any other... Let's see. Is it the artwork channel? Oh, it's not! It's the guy that we saw. Oh, hang on. I gotta click this so I'll be able to see that. It's the guy that we saw out there. The guy with the mustache and the tube-shaped head. Okay, so apparently it's him. He is the ribbon guy. Okay. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. I look forward to meeting this guy some more later. Let's see. Oak says, petition to make Logan do a shirt check when he shows us what shirt he's wearing every stream, because we all know that the color... all we know is the color of the shoulder area. But then when I repeat shirts, it's like, you already wore this shirt last week. And it's like, yeah, I only have so many shirts. Bucky says, no way. Magpie says, fun fact, I have met Matt Smith. He was lovely. Hey, nice. I met David Tennant. He was nice. He gave me a high five. He wasn't supposed to give me a high five, but he gave me one. I also met Karen Gillan one time. Vera said, this was one of Spoiler Chat's most controversies. Oh, that was pinned earlier. Bucky says, Logan, you've gone up on my people I like list. Really? Vera said, what did he say? Oak said, before he was on your people I don't like list. Vera says, this was one of Spoiler Chat's most controversies. Oh, yeah, that was pinned earlier, yeah. And Bucky says, I meant gone up in the ranking. Oak says, if Logan doesn't finish the case, I'll eat him. Vera said, bang, 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 lol. Queen says, they're here. Vera said, come on, Logan, hear my voice. Queen said, the spoiler chat server icon. Vera says, give her the voice. Queen says, I mean, the upcoming spoiler chat server icon is here. Please pin that one. Vera says, yes, he heard me. Queen says, Maya voice, Maya voice. Vera said, whoop, whoop, whoop. Vera says, he knew it when he saw her. Queen says, can you pin this, please? Vera, okay, so that is correct. That is the Maya voice. Queen said, can you pin this, please? Vera said, oh, yeah, sorry, celebrating. Queen said, thank you. Oak said, there's no blood in steaks. Isn't there? Then what's all the pink stuff? Quicken said, I'm a germaphobe, and I just uncooked meat. I know that it's like, anyway, I know it's a whole thing, but still. Quinket says, I'm still working on the drawing, but it's going to be adorable. Oak said, the only juices in steak are myoglobin, which is basically just water. Quinket says, everyone approves so far. Oak says, all the blood is removed from steaks before you buy them. And if you are really worried about blood in steaks, you can kosher them with salt. Bucky says, she's going to cast non-magic missile. Quinket says, the Maya voice is so perfect. This girl is basically Maya if she was allowed to do whatever she wants. Oak says, so Maya. Quinket says, including have a gun. Yeah, it was Pearl who got a gun. Maya was never allowed a gun. Pearl was. Vera said, oh, we're so close. Oak says, hashtag give Maya a gun. Vera says, he made her cry. Queen says, Chad, hold hands soon. Vera says, holding hands, so excited. Says Queen Katie, an Oak with a clip. Hang on. Okay, Oak has posted a clip. Like I said before, if you post a clip in the chat, we watch the clip. So let's see what this clip is. This clip is from 6 minutes ago. So let's see what this one is. Load it up here. It says, Logan tells Ryunosuke to kill himself.
Oh!
Go die! Ryunosuke, go die in the park! She's sad! She wants you to die! Don't make a girl cry like that! Go freeze to death in a park!
Oh dear.
I mean, she looked very sad. So you gotta admit, thank you very much, Oak. Vera said, there we go. Oak says, woo, he's here. Vera said, it's him. Queen says, spoiler clip here now. Okay, here's another spoiler clip from Queen Katie. Once again, this is if I guess something very wrong, very right. Accidentally foreshadow something from yesterday titled, Puts Out Fire. I don't know about that. I'm starting to think he might be a murderer. I'm starting to think that he did the murder. And we're going to have to decide later whether to defend him or not. We're going to decide, no, we should let him get convicted. And then Strongheart's going to let us be a lawyer and say, I know that I said that you had to get an innocent verdict, but you got the truth, and that's more important. Are there any conclusions? I was right. I mean, I was sort of right. I was kind of right. I was sort of right. I was a little bit right, but also a little bit wrong. But thank you very much. Queen Katie. Vera says, peek at my profile picture. All. Oak says, woo. Queen says, oh my gosh, so cute. Vera says, shout out. Oak. Queen says, wise choice, Vero. Oak said, please pin new. That was pinned earlier. Queen says, I'm going to refrain from sharing the Japanese translated name of this case until the next time, as I have some notes about it. Still needs added content. Oh, for the new case, because we never got her name. Queen says, but case 4 name. I mean, Bubba said, the chapter switch jingle, not gonna lie, sounded like the freedom motif. Everything's a freedom motif. Vera says, I thought Optronics was the Shattered Glass version of Orion. Maybe there is a version of him that is that, but like in the Dreamwave universe, that's what it is. And they didn't have a parentheses SG when Extemp did that. Over on YouTube, Derma says, now that's how you end a case. And with the Reaper striking again, I shall believe. So, I mean, I think they implied that anybody who goes up against him dies? So is he a serial killer? Does he kill the people that he prosecutes? Maybe he kills all the people who don't get convicted. That'd be interesting. Vera says, the more you know, says my guy. Oak says, I'm so happy when I got commissioned to draw an old guy. Magpie says, neat. Oak said, that's like my main thing. Quicken says, I posted my meme. Oak says, I hope if Vero commissions me again for a ribbon that I get to do all the old men. Vera says, I'll keep it in mind. Oak says, steaks are incredibly safe to eat rare. All of the germs in the steak are on the outside of steak, so after you cook the outside, they're basically no germs. That's what I've heard. It's like the difference between a steak and ground beef, but I'm still like paranoid about that type of stuff. Oak says, and the germs that are on the outside are already quite safe. You can eat raw beef as long as it's high enough quality is perfectly safe. Well, isn't that what a steak tartare is a little bit different than that. But hang on, we got one more clip. One more clip. I'm kind of surprised that none of the clips tonight actually were that turnaround thing that you guys seem to enjoy for some reason. Okay, let's see. This is from 18 minutes ago. So is this another spoiler clip?
Yes, sir. If you would like to follow me into the courtroom.
Into the courtroom? Is he going to get assassinated? Well, what's going on? I mean, we didn't see a body. So we could be wrong. But I am assuming that that's who that was on the inside. Especially since the way that it looked over at the Reaper of the Bailey afterward. Yeah, it's totally going to be him. Totally going to be him. Yes. I got to put the clip player down. I am so close to catching up. If you're lurking and have been putting up with me catching up to chat, like my hat's off to you. I am almost there. I'm almost there. Oak says, if you really want to be extra safe and still have juicy steak, you could cook it to medium because the interior will still be at a temperature that kills germs, but it'll still be juicy. Maybe that's what I should do. Is the medium well? Is that a thing? Oak says, I mean, steak tartare is raw beef. I remember that from a Mr. Bean episode. Vera says, thank you for the very go out with a blast stream. That was fun. Yeah, that ending was totally fire. Eglin said, logged back on Tomodachi Life and my spouse is literally on the verge of divorcing me. I'm trying so hard to salvage this. I feel bad because my Tomodachi Life, developed a crush on Gallica at one point, and I was playing, and the crush came up. I'm like, well, I don't know if I want this to happen now, because I think I might try and tweak Gallica's face, and so I don't want, like, I don't know how quickly people get married and have babies, and you guys have said that, like, facial stuff passes on, and it's like, so then I'm done, and then, like, he's not crushing anymore. I haven't seen him work, and finally today, a crush icon appeared again, and it's for freaking Chie, and it's like, no, it's Gallica, and I was very sad. Let's see. Queen said, thank you for the very, yay, we're on fire stream. I will not be joining for Pragmata, but enjoy the stream and spoiler chat. Aw, I mean, you might enjoy the game. You never know. I might also hate the game. And I might go, well, that was a waste of $60 and never play it again. Oak said, good night, everyone. Love y'all. Crystal says, thank you for the very lit stream. Oak says, medium well is also bad, but anything is better than well done. There, 3 hours, 6 minutes, 35 seconds. I caught up to chat for the first time of the night on Twitch. I think I'm still caught up over on YouTube. I am still caught up over on YouTube. Okay. So first thing I need to do is, looks like Crystal already beat me to it to posting a link tree, and I got to copy this over to Twitch chat. I just want to let you know that is our link tree. It has all of our social media, including Discord, invite, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all of that good stuff. So feel free to check it out. One of the raid suggestions that Crystal had is, is playing, I was going to do his 100 line. I was going to do it, but it's on followers. Oh, that's on followers only too. Okay, there's only one that's not on followers only. So even though it has more viewers than the other ones, I think that's the one that we're going to have to do. So let's go ahead and start initiating a raid. Here's our raid message. So yeah, for lurkers, we stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Not this Sunday, because that's going to be Mother's Day. Right now, this has been our main game that we're playing. But we're alternating with other games. So tomorrow, we're going to try out Pragmata. I hear it's really good, and I might suck at it. We will see. It could be a disaster tomorrow. I'm always nervous when we try new games, but I'm going to try it out. And then Sunday's going to be off. Tuesday, I don't know. It depends. We'll find out what Tuesday is. I'll post that on Monday. But we're going to continue this game next week, 1 week from today, on Thursday of next week, with the new case, the Clouded Kokoro. And then next week, assuming it's normal schedule, should have Sunday as well. So we'll have 2 streams of this again next week. This week's just a little bit different and weird. Let's see. There's a few more comments now. Eglin said, trust me, crushes can last for either 2 seconds before marriage or like years. Magpie said, remember, if you bought it within 2 weeks and have less than 2 hours, you can refund it. Oh, really? But one stream would be 3 hours. So we'll see. Thank you for that reminder, though. Vera said, good night, my friends. See y'all tomorrow, I hope so. Vera, before you go to bed, make sure that you check out. Well, actually, are you going to bed? Are you staying up? No, you're probably staying up. I was going to say, make sure to check out the Transformers channel. And hope you get feeling better. Get well soon, Vera. Vera said, I need to sleep. Okay, if you need sleep, get some sleep, get feeling better, but do at some point check out the Transformers channel. Vera said, HNGN, everyone. And Chris said, laughing, sorry, Robo Dad tomorrow. I'm excited. I love and appreciate you all. Thank you for the wonderful stream. Raid's about to start. Enjoy the raid. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye. And over on YouTube, I appreciate all of you being here. I wish that I could send you off on the raid as well, but you guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Especially, I would say, Dermo and Frulzy, you were here for most of the stream tonight. Katrina, who popped in, and there was what was the other person's name who popped in for a little bit? It was Munch or something like that. Thank you all for being here. You guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you as well. And to all of you over there on YouTube, and to anyone who might be watching the VOD in the future, good night as well.